Hello, everybody. Pop culture curator here, of course, once again. Good to see you all. I hope you're all feeling fine and doing well. I know we're not quite in the middle of the week, but today's Tuesday. I hope work week isn't wearing you out too badly. I know it's kind of been a rough week for some people, but I hope you guys are hanging out or hanging in there okay without any too many issues. And just a quick shout out to sympathy to Clobber Times, Clobby for passing away. I know he meant a lot to a lot of people. That seems to happen. You get to close to people here on the internet, you become friends, and then next thing you know, you end up losing them like a personal friend in your life, and then it personally affects you to where you're kind of down and out for a little while, and that's never any fun. So, any of you guys out there that are still mourning his loss, I feel for you, and I give you a shake on the hand, shake your hand, and tell you good luck with that. The first thing I want to do is I want to introduce my wonderful panel, and I'm going to start with my good friend, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. How are you doing tonight, Gorilla?
Well, it looks like you guys won't be getting any videos of tornadoes tonight. Looks like the worst of it's already is passed by. But that temp dropped from 80 to 60 like it's seen a state trooper. I'll tell you what.
Well, no offense, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're not going to have any tornadoes tonight.
Well, shouldn't to does are two different things though. But
Yeah.
there's still a few little scattered things out there. You gotta keep an eye out. That's out west, but yeah. Then I got my new eyeballs today. Everything's just
Got
a
your new
little bit.
eyeballs today. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember you were talking about that when
yeah.
you were getting
So
everything ordered through Walmart. How'd that turn out for you?
yeah, pretty good. Walmart was better than most. So
Yeah, you look good, dude.
yeah,
Handsome devil.
yeah. So that's the ladies. They keep ignoring me. Yeah,
What are they thinking? Damn it! Right. No, that's not cool. No, but they look good. They look spiffy, and as long as they definitely look clear for you, and you don't have to do any eye straining or anything. Now, are they the kind where you use them to see far away or close up or all the time, or how does that work?
well, the farther things are away, the more blurry they are, and they're just clearing things up.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
all. I still was
So you,
still legally driving all that. They said I have 20/20 vision, but just like one eye was a little bit weaker than the other, so now one eye's straining to compensate and stuff.
Oh, well, that's
But
normal.
yeah, it's about they said my eyes weren't really that bad. I could give way with not wearing glasses, but
Yeah, that's what I've been told too. The way my eyes are, is I can see far away, but I need glasses for reading and to see things close up. So, like right now, I have them on to see the laptop, in order to be able to read all the text and all that kind of stuff. Which is why I always have trouble when I'm reading the chat because I'm having to squint and lean forward to look at the laptop. And I feel bad because sometimes I mispronounce things or say the wrong thing.
uh, that's all right. I mispronounce things all the time.
You
Yeah,
misspell them too.
yep, that happens.
Hey, give my fat fingers a break, there, sit Dan.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be around long enough to be at Red Knox 5, right?
I don't know what the. I'll get that reference.
You don't get it from Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan?
Wait, what? Wait, can you repeat the reference?
Red Knox 5. That's the stuff that when Bones gives Kirk the glasses in Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, he gives him the
Oh,
old pair of glasses, they're antiques. And
oh,
Bones,
gotcha.
Kirk,
Yeah,
right,
now I
Kirk
remember.
says, I'm allergic to Red Knox 5.
Now I remember.
Yeah, sorry for giving the obscure reference out there.
No. That'd be a good one for like Jeopardy and all that.
I don't know. Do most people know that reference?
Well,
I didn't get it.
there's a couple channels that do.
The missus didn't get it.
There's a couple channels that do Star Trek trivia.
Well,
Are you a Star Trek fan?
No, not enough of an OST fan to know that. I've seen Wrath of Khan, but I wouldn't have got the reference.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I was just asking.
Yeah. Well, Dennis, you should join us for DS9 on Saturdays.
If I can, I definitely would. I love DS9.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. It also depends on which series you like. Like like me, TOS. For you guys, DS9. So yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of DS9 fans out there who wouldn't know any references from TOS. So that works both ways.
I've seen every series there. I've seen the old series a couple times through, and the old movies maybe once or twice through, and the new series I've seen once through. But anyhow, let's keep going with our.
Well, Sid Dan had a question for Nemesis, I think.
No, it was just a question to you, Papa. The reference you used, I did not quite understand first, but then when you gave context to it, I knew what you were talking about to the context you said about it.
Okay, gotcha. And now I want to say hello and welcome to my good friend, Nemesis of Eden. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing awesome, Pop. Always a good day when I get to hang out here with you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And likewise, it's always good to see you. And I really love your streams at night. It's really relaxing and chill to sit there and then just enjoy them. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you and everyone else who stops in, everyone in the chat and on the panel, of course. Yeah, you're all awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm glad I'm able to provide some sort of entertainment for you.
Now, are all those games you're playing, are all of them PS5?
So most of them are PS4. They're just the PS5 upscales. The only one that's PlayStation 5 is Stellar Blade, and that's the one with the hot South Korean chick.
Yeah, so as far as the hardware consoles, you only have a PS5, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, no, that's cool. Isn't it? It's great that you can upscale the older version of games. That's definitely a big plus, right?
Yeah. I'm really it's really nice, and they don't charge you anything for it either, which is really nice too. Like you would, in today's day and age, you never know what to expect. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. Definitely going to be excited to see what Elden Ring is going to be like in about a week or two. I'll be playing a lot of that.
Oh, you're waiting for the release date?
Yeah. There's a DLC that's been coming out, and I'm just stoked for it.
No, you don't have any interest in the Spider-Man movie. No interest in that.
No, not my jam. Right. The only superhero film that I really enjoyed was The Incredibles, and which is certainly not like this movie. Let me tell you.
That's on a different scale. You're right.
Yeah.
Have you been checking into the progress to see what's been going on with that supposed Killer Clowns game?
Yeah, I was actually waiting to talk to you about that. It released a month ago or two.
Oh, really?
A couple. Yeah. So it's a online co-op game. So you either play as the clowns or you play as the humans, and it's online. So yeah, it's on the list of games to get. It's just a little out of my price range right now.
How much is it?
I would have to check and get back to you on that, Pop.
What's the average price now these days? About like $59 or what?
Oh, 80. Well, for a high end, probably $80, $90.
Ooh,
This one's
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
how
like
much is Clown going for?
probably $60-$70 Canadian, and then I don't know what's that, $20 American. Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
can
like $2
understand
American.
that. And hello, and welcome to Sci-Fi Sith Dan. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, still I'm kicking. I'm not dead yet.
That's always a reason to celebrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I figure if I can open my eyes and I can take a breath in the morning, I'm always happy. And I definitely have no reason to complain about that. So, let's say, if we can, get my stuff moving around. Do we have anybody here in the chat yet? Any visitors yet?
Yeah, if you want,
we sure do.
Yeah, if you want to get pulled up here, I'll start going through the chats here. And welcome to the one and only Sean Carter. He says hello all, and he's giving us a regular salute and not the one finger salute.
Hello, Sean. That is good to hear. And Sean, you and I need to talk as soon as possible.
Yeah,
it's good to see you, Sean.
And we got Sci-Fi Sedan, who is also on the panel. And we got the wonderful Daniel's Hot Topics saying hello to all.
Hello, Daniel. Have you seen this movie? If you have, come on up and join us.
And he says, okay, when all three of us we're gonna be coming up here. Then Nemesis says, hey, Sean, thanks for being here. He says hello to Nemesis. And hail Daniel's Hot Topics. I hope you are well, says Nemesis.
Excellent.
And Dale says, did I miss your stream, Nemesis?
You did. I've had several streams, buddy, but no worries. There will be plenty more in the future. I just appreciate you popping in whenever and just providing your positivity, dude. I really like it. It's always nice.
I tend to miss them because Nemesis always has to stream at the worst times.
Well, yeah, they're usually late at night. And that's not the worst time. It's just that it happens to be not jiving with your schedule. That's all.
Yeah. No, the worst times for me.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And welcome to the Phantom Boomer Explorers.
Hey,
hello. And
hello, Phantom Boomer. So good to see you there.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well, sir.
Then he said, I had cataract surgery last year. All I need now is the drugstore cheaters. Hope you're allergic to Retnix 5.
You see, and that's what I'm using to the drugstore cheaters. So you got the cataract surgery and you still need the cheaters, huh? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought the operation is supposed to solve everything, but of course, nothing's perfect.
It all depends on your eyes. Like they went and they x-rayed my eyes. They did all kinds of crap to my eyes there. They checked all the veins, the connections in that. They took several pictures. So
that's good. So how long overall did it take to get those glasses from the time they measure, from the time you got the examination to actually getting the glasses in your hand? How long did it take?
6 days, but 2 of those days were weekends.
Not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, the average is about a week for most places because they got a couple of days for shipping and everything.
Right. My problem is I always lose track of them and can't remember where I set them down. So I've got a really bad habit of that. I've got a break.
Yeah. All right, that's all the. Oh, now it says it's all good, buddy Daniel, and Boomer says, does it solve everything? I have astigmatism. Oh, okay.
Oh, definitely not.
Brutal.
Fun.
And hello, Boomer. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. And I'm going to remind everybody, of course. Well, first I have to ask, before this week, how many of you had seen this movie?
I never even heard of it.
Okay. I hadn't seen it. I'd known about it for a long time. It was on the list of movies on the back burner, and yeah, it was interesting.
How about you, Sit Dan? Have you ever heard of it or seen it before?
I have heard of it, but I just finished watching it yesterday.
Gotcha. Hopefully, you guys had a good streaming service to view it from that without a bunch of buffering and everything.
Well,
Oh,
Look Movie 2 is really good.
Okay. I think I put soap link. Whatever link I put in there, I hope it was okay. I hope it worked.
It was fine. Like it's a free link. It is what it is. It's the one I used, and I'm here, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
Here, I'll
I was
get
able to
you.
watch it today.
Here's where you
So
get the next movie picked out. I'll get you the link for the one I use. That's really good.
okay, dude, sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Um, and I know as a reminder, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, is that as everybody is well aware, we have to show this in slide format. We're not able to show the video itself, or we will get a copyright warning and or strike from YouTube, and we don't want that to happen. So if you're new here, that's the reason why you're going to see slideshow, and we're unable. Unfortunately we have to skip like every few seconds or so to show the movie. That's why I encourage you to actually watch the movie, which you'll find a link to on my community tab to my YouTube channel. So if you have not actually seen the movie, I encourage you to still go and watch it if you can. I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to be able to enjoy the experience. If you are new here, maybe perhaps consider hitting the like button and maybe even subscribe to my channel. And hit that share button. Let your friends out there know about my channel. We've got a lot of interesting topics here. I know I cover a lot of sci-fi, horror. From those of you, if you'd look through my page on my main page, that is, on my channel, you'll see that I've got a lot of different things to offer, and my catalog is growing every day. And plus, I've got some wonderful friends like some of those you see up here that have some amazing content as well. And I usually encourage you to go and watch theirs as well. Hello, Lemon Pie. I see you just popped in. Good to see you.
Yeah. Hey, Scurvy, how's it going?
Yo, Lemon, hey buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see you. When I see you guys' names, it really does cheer me up, and I mean that seriously.
Yeah. The Boomer Series says just the cheaters were up close. Coco. Yeah, colors are brighter now. Was like getting a new TV. Yeah. Oh, that's
That
good.
does help, doesn't it?
And Boomer says hi, Pie. All right, let's get her going.
Let's get her going. Right, exactly. This movie came out in 2019, so it's not brand new, but it's not too old. Hopefully, this copy I have will work tonight. We won't have any buffering or dropping of my internet, because as you guys know, I've been having trouble with my internet connection lately. But I'm hoping we can make it through tonight without too many issues.
Well, if not, I'll have it covered.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. And here we have open up with a Sony movie.
Oh, Sony. So
That's right.
So did anybody else get like the mix, like the vibe of this was like Superman meets The Exorcist?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think that's the point I think they were trying to do. It's like trying to be Superman. And what I liked is the fact that they focus in on the origin story of Superman. So it's not like the movie starts and he's a full grown adult and everything's already going on. And then the whole movie is him as an adult and a straight up horror movie. I like the fact that it focuses only on his childhood. So it almost, I'd say, this is my opinion, it almost is like Superman the motion picture, the very first one, except minus the part where he goes to Metropolis.
Yeah, and in this one, the character just goes bananas.
Right. Well, he does exactly what we respect, because remember, according to where the plot's supposed to be, he's supposed to be kind of like the opposite of the Superman, the Clark Kent that we all know and love. So part of that is the way his slow progression into what he's doing.
Yeah, he went full Charlie X.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, one of my biggest gripes is like this is like there's a full minute of studios in this for this film. And it almost borderline parody to me. I was just like, I don't know.
Well, you said a full minute of studio. I didn't catch the first part.
Oh, just it just seemed like there was a full minute of studio logo. Like we're still on, this is the last studio logo here. Troll Court Entertainment. And boy, oh boy, what a last one to end on. I was just like, boy, I feel like I'm being trolled with this intro.
Well, the reason why is when they, as you guys have all heard the old trope, is that and it's even more so back in the old days, that when somebody had a script, there was a really good script, they were going around from studio to studio trying to sell it. And the studios were like, well, we never heard of this. We don't want this. We're not interested in this. So they're like, take it to the next person and the next person, the next studio, and so on. So when you see multiple studios like that, that means they whoever made the movie did the rounds, went around and showed it to different studios to sell it. And that it took the funding of all those studios together to get it greenlit and budgeted and made and for the theaters. Instead of just one theater, like for example, if you have a big movie that is a franchise already established franchise, and it's a big movie like Superman or Star Wars or something, that's why you're going to see only one studio, maybe two, backing it up, like Warner Brothers and Paramount. But if it's an independent movie that somebody had to go and shop around and pretty much beg, then that's when you're going to see the multiple studios. Which is, seeing the multiple studios is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes we can thank the makers of the movie because they were able to get the movie made. And it's like, if you ever meet them in real life and you say, hey, I saw your movie Brightburn, and I see you had to go around to different studios to get that thing made. Congratulations. Because usually that takes a lot harder work than just one studio writing off on it. Anyway, enough blabber.
That makes sense. No, that was a good point, Pop. Thank you.
So here we open with a farmhouse, and it shows their little library here. And the first thing we do is we see the book, The Infertility Book, a comprehensive medical and emotional guide, which automatically tells us that we have a family here who have been struggling to have a child.
Yeah.
And apparently not having any luck with it.
I mean, so, and then the wife here feels she feels something. She there breaks up the mid-coitus there, and she's like, "Oh, do you feel that?" And he's like, "No," aside from like her hair getting caught in his watch. And then there's a big rumble. The power goes out, and she screams.
Yes. And now we cut.
And then,
oh, look. Go ahead.
No, I was exactly what you were going to say, Pop.
Yeah.
No, anytime you guys want to step in and talk, please go for it.
Yeah, I kind of liked how they went for the old like homemade video camera look with this, like showing the baby growing up.
Yes.
Well, it
Yeah,
fits for the time period, right? Like they'd be filming in the early. I don't know when is this set. Was it supposed to be set in 2019? Like,
It says
all right,
place in 2019, right? But I
yeah.
think,
So
go ahead.
the kid would be born in, or technically born in 2007, at right when Facebook started getting going and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right about that time.
I gotta say though,
Uh,
from what I heard from this movie and since I sort of knew going into it while watching it yesterday, this is gonna be a Superman turns evil story. I was half expecting the baby to have the superpowers to show them up already, but that comes later in the movie.
right, which is perfect. That's just like Superman. If you remember in the origin of Superman, as he started as a child, he didn't really know what was going on. But the older he got, then he started discovering his powers one by one. And once again, that helps make the movie much more intriguing and interesting because you don't want to see everything up front. It kind of ruins the surprise, at least in my opinion. And it
Uh,
almost looks like Smallville.
Almost.
And I was happy to find that the mother was not irritating because very easy they could be irritating, but I'm glad she wasn't.
oh, speak for yourself. She was a little bit overbearing, to be honest.
Oh,
by
that's
the
fine.
end, yeah, for sure.
Oh, by
But
the end, oh yeah. And
You
my
can tell this is an only child, and they can't have any more. Put it that way. That
yeah,
the way the
yes,
mother acted, you could tell she was it's the only child, and she can't have any.
absolutely. And I had to vote worst hairstyle of 2024, 2019, whatever the year the movie was made. Or I could even vote and say for all movies, but that is one of the most hideous, ugliest hairstyle I've ever seen. I would burn it off her in the middle of the night while she was asleep.
I don't think it's too bad.
And
It's too,
I gotta say too that the actress's real hair color is you can see it in her root area of her hair.
well, I don't
I
know.
think that's the haircut that Pop was talking about.
Yeah, you guys have heard me mention it before. I don't
I
like the
sure
black,
have.
right? The black roots with the blonde, bleach blonde look. Hideous. It's ugly, and it makes her look like a tramp.
I was indifferent to it. Like, I mean, she didn't have a lot of sex appeal, but I mean, like, well, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Think about this. If you're a director and you're making a movie and you say, well, I want to get rid of her sex appeal and make her look ugly, this is a perfect hairstyle for it.
I don't know. I never had a problem with it, but
That's okay.
anyhow, when she's going out, she finds the kid in the barn here, and
Hiding,
apparently
right?
they got a strict thing not to go in the barn. I was like, oh come on! Some of my best memories were out at my grandparents' farm there when we played hide and seek in the hay bales up in the loft there, and just hope you remembered where the hole was in the floor.
Did she say why she didn't want him in the barn?
Well,
No,
Not
no.
yet.
no, he says it right here. He goes, "There's a bunch of broken boards with nails in it." Well,
Yes,
the kid will learn.
exactly right.
You get tetanus infection, you learn real fast.
It's one way of putting it.
And here we have him in school, and apparently he's smarter than the other kids. They've established because like this is exactly what I used to do too. Is when they would give us an assignment or when the teacher was talking like this, I'd always finish my work early, and I would be ahead of the teacher, whatever they're talking about. So I would just be scribbling and just
Yeah.
making stuff like that in my book. I would do like around the paragraphs and around the outline of the pages and stuff. I would be scribbling, and just doing stuff like that. So that's what he's doing. So they're establishing that he's smart.
And there's some foreshadowing in this scene here.
With the wasps.
Well, yeah, he had the wasp there, and he kept doodling that weird symbol that he had there that we see later on.
Yes.
But
Oh, yeah.
But like the wasp there will represent his nature.
Yeah, where he's talking about them being carnivorous and that how some species of moss will come and they'll lay their eggs and let other species of moss or insects take care of them, and then which is basically what happens here, right? And then if this poor unfortunate girl turns around and as the dude was giving him a hard time, she's like, "Oh, don't worry, the smart ones end up ruling the world," with once again a little bit of foreshadowing.
Yes, exactly.
And I do gotta say that there was a radio interference on her stereo. She thinks it was something, but I think it was the ship trying to communicate with her.
Oh, the interference is on the radio?
Yeah, it's go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, she's sitting there and she has a song playing, and then the ship is pulsing and it's calling out to either. Well, it's calling out to the kid, obviously, because it's his spacecraft, but it's getting picked up on the electro frequencies, and so that also comes up later in the movie too, where it seems to affect him, and he seems to be able to affect electricity and radio waves.
What it is, it's like an automated signal, like an automated distress signal. And I think what it's doing is it's programmed to keep calling out until he's old enough to be able to receive it and respond.
Well, it's either that or at a certain age where his body is a certain age, like for us, well, it's sort of infer that that stuff kicks in.
Yeah, you're right.
Like right here, he's probably hitting his purity phase, and that's where his ship's starting to act up to give him his powers, roughly.
They do mention that is one of the underlying thoughts between him and his counselor aunt in the film is that he's going through changes and whatnot. So they think. So yeah, it could be that could be related. Regardless, but this is the point where, as Gorilla pointed out earlier, it's like The Exorcist, and she's being possessed, and the bed's shaking, and he's freaking out. Right? Oh no, we are sorry, we're not at that point yet. He's just right, or no? Did that happen? Because he gets possessed and then he goes out to the barn.
No, that is later.
Okay.
Yeah, right here, his mom is just curious and trying to find her boy on what's going on.
Oh yeah,
and she finds him like that where he's sort of possessed right here, trying to open that door.
Acting funny. She's like, "What is this? What's going on?"
And you could hear him speaking either gibberish or some garbled foreign language, or he's speaking English, I think, right here, garbled.
Right.
No, he's speaking the aliens' language.
Exactly, right. He's communicating, but I don't think he quite understands completely what he's doing.
No, because we come to find out later that he's there. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to that scene.
And of course, he's spooked. It's like waking somebody out of a sleepwalk.
Or
and she say, "You're all right." Yeah, exactly. Or "You're all right. You're all right."
And here, his mother is somewhat concerned. You can see it in her face. Or and cautiously.
Right. And she's looking at the padlock, which is telling us that she knows what's down there and that they locked it up for a reason, and whatever it is, they've been keeping it from him.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I mean, I understand why they kept it, but at the same time, it's so frustrating.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then we're introduced to the father. And he seems like a good man.
Yeah, they're both loving parents.
Yes. Yeah, that's the kind of household I'd like to grow up in. That's for sure.
And here's where he sort of discovers his first power.
Oh yeah, he got mad at his dad. He couldn't get started, so he just throws the lawnmower. Whee!
A good distance too.
And see, that's one thing I liked about this movie. They didn't have a lot of money, obviously, to make the movie because they had to go from studio to studio to studio. But the effects look good. That's what it makes me happy. A lot of them are practical and they look good. Those that are CGI are barely or not noticeable at all. So I like that.
You think that was just a wire pulling the lawnmower all the way that distance?
No, I think it
No,
was CGI.
yeah, probably was. And I do have a question. A lot of people have mixed feelings about child actors. It seems like this child actor does a good job in this movie. Some hate them,
Yeah,
some love them, some say the child actor is terrible.
you're right because because it's hard. First of all, you have to look at their talent as far as acting. How good of an actor are they? And then second, they can be irritating, and that's very difficult getting a child actor that is not irritating.
Well, I think the thing that will go with this, the kid is supposed to show that he doesn't have much for emotions, like a motionless child, which I know some people like that, and they might have gotten a kid
Introvert,
who doesn't have a lot of emotions to show.
right? So
I
you're
know
like,
some people like that.
yeah, like an introvert.
Well, I can't remember the name of it. I know Ashley suffered from it, but but she does not show like emotions at all there.
Okay, so
That's
you're
just
not
kids like
talking
that.
about autistic, are you?
No, not autistic.
Okay, so like there's like kids like usually there's one or two. You're one or two things. You're an introvert or an extrovert. Maybe that's what you're thinking about. Maybe he's an introvert. Because an extrovert are the ones that are loud and they're like, look at me, everybody, look at me, look at me, look at me. An introvert is the ones that sit in the corner and hardly talk to anybody until somebody approaches them.
Yeah, I'm more of an introvert versus an extrovert myself, like as an
Same
example.
here. Same here. That's what I was going to say too. That's why for me, growing up, especially for dating, was very difficult because it was very, very, very difficult for me to approach a stranger and ask her out or just to say my name or introduce myself. I always had this big fear of rejection. And I read books a lot. So I was the one that
Uh,
I would sit in the back of the classroom with my nose stuck in a book.
oh, I found it. It's Alexis the Mia, like Alex
Gotcha.
it Mia.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, and here we get the dumbass. He goes and grabs the moving blade.
Well,
Right. So
yeah, sort of like he wants to test out his powers. Like he may have something like super strength, sort of, because he threw the lawnmower hella far.
Yeah, but it
Well,
doesn't mean get your hand chopped off by the lawnmower.
yeah, but you can hear the ship's talking to him. The voice that's in his head is encouraging him to
Yeah,
do it. He's in a trance. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah. And the look he has on his head, he goes, "Finally, I can whip my dad's ass." Yeah, and we all know we've all tried. Every kid's tried that once. They they think they got to the point where they can whip their dad's ass there, and he's just
Oh,
realizing
only to
he
be
can't.
proven wrong, right?
Oh no! It could be like some dads will actually try to fight their sons, or they'll go do what happened to my friend there when he tried it with his dad. His dad was sitting in his nice recliner there with the beer in his hand. And there, the kid went and tried to start a fight with him. He just got up, had beer still in his hand, kicked him in the nuts, and went and sat right back down.
Oh, and
Because he knew if he lost that fight, good luck telling him to take out the garbage next time.
of course, right? That was a powerful learning lesson that day.
Yeah. And welcome, Jim. Welcome. He says hello and hi to Scurry.
Hello, Jim. Good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Hey, Jim. Good to see you, buddy.
And I want to shout out to the actor on the far left, the one in the gray shirt. I like him a lot. He was in Breaking Bad, and then he was in Better Call Saul. And here he plays the uncle.
Yeah, and I gotta say that I was gonna say this later in another scene, but I guess I'll say it later since it's gonna show up in this scene right in a few scenes right here slides. But
Okay.
but his personality shifts a lot once what's that alien presence starts talking to him. He develops a dual personality. In other words,
Well, yeah. Well, he says a lot of shit to where the parents are like, where the hell did that come from?
yeah, like a dual personality.
Uh-huh.
Like now it's like he's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Well, at least she looks a little better there. A little bit less black roots, I guess.
She just looks like a traditional country girl, man. Like it is what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, the hairstyle she had in the beginning of the movie, and the one that I've been talking about, that's a style they have to go pay to get done. It's not natural. They have to pay to have the black roots done and then the white exterior done. So it's not like I know, even though it looks like poverty, it looks like, I mean, straight up trailer trash, they actually have to pay to have it done. See, there's not as many the black roots aren't so obvious here in this scene as they were earlier in the movie, which is showing us the time is passing, her hair is growing. Yeah, he looks a little bored, doesn't he?
Or a little frustrated. Or
That's
angry.
another problem, right? That's another problem. Is he's learning from that entity, and of course they're much smarter than us. So with his extra wisdom, he's going to start getting bored really quick because everything that we are doing is going to seem very tedious and menial to him.
Well, I think part of the problem is too, at that age, he wants to have a party with his friends, not go out to dinner with his mom and dad, uncle and aunt.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and he's getting to the point where because he's starting to feel superiority over them, he doesn't want to have to take orders from them either. He wants to do what he wants to do.
And
Aside from that girl, they never established that he has friends, though.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
that girl seems like she's one of those. I'll just be nice to the geeky kid there, but but I'm not going to be his friend or talk to him. But I'll be nice and polite to him.
Yeah,
Right.
and thus once a kid hits puberty, a few years later, then the kid reaches a stage that either parents dread or have to deal with called the teenage years and the rebellious years.
Exactly. Now this movie was 2019, which is 5 years ago. Have you guys seen any of these people in anything since? Do you recognize them from anything else?
I haven't watched really much new stuff though.
Same here.
Yeah, I can't say I recognize him from anything.
Here's wacky. Oh, did we already skip over the first time he was going outside after dark and when she heard some weird noises?
I'm not sure. But I know this is where the scene where he chomped down on that fork and screwed it up.
Yeah.
His dad's like, what the hell?
Damn it, I'm gonna have to go buy some more silverware.
And then
Well,
here's some more foreshadowing under his bed.
Well, here they thought that see, kids nowadays will never know the struggle of having to hide the magazines from the parents.
Yeah, dude.
True.
Wow,
Yes,
I mean,
true.
well, and see, and it's interesting because it starts off as like you would think for like boys that age, it starts off as like bikini models and whatnot, but then it goes into like scientific diagrams, and then it goes into like actual pictures of organs and whatnot. So it delves and it gets more and more messed up. And what I thought they were trying to do was to let us know that he has X-ray vision. And like that's what he's seeing is just like, oh, he can see through women's clothes and then through their skin and then into their organs. I don't think that's what after watching the movie, I don't think that's what they're implying at all. But I thought that's what they were going for.
Yeah. And
You
just
think what it is he's showing he's just interested in the human anatomy and how we're built?
I think so, because
that's not porn, obviously.
Yeah.
No, because they even laugh about it. They're like, "Is this supposed to be his idea of porn?" And it's like, man, that's something you would see in like Stuff magazine or Maxim or something like that. But it does play into foreshadowing later on at one of the very last scenes in the movie when we see what happens to one of the characters.
Yeah. Hey. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Hey, welcome to PvP. Says he'll be on too. Just watching the last 25 minutes.
Hey, PvP, good to see you.
Yeah, and welcome to Euler Greg. He says, "Cheers, everyone."
Euler Greg, hello.
Yeah, he
Hope
says,
you're staying safe and warm.
Yeah, he says, watch for your local guerrilla weather forecast. Oh, we already covered that at the beginning of the stream, where I talked about our entire state being in a tornado warning.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure who this is here, Pop.
Hold on, let me take a look. Hold on just a second.
I haven't seen him.
MC Nemesis in the back room. Can you tell us who you are? In the private chat.
Yeah, another Greg says X-ray vision because I don't want to be responsible for porn getting up here.
MC Nemesis on Amazon Music. Can you join the chat for now? I usually have people join the chat first and get to know us through the chat and maybe sub to the channel before I let them on the panel.
Yeah.
So if they do that, we appreciate it. No offense to you personally, but we've all had problems in the past.
Yeah.
We've had people come on and disrupt our channels, our streams.
Yeah, well, I've gotten hit with a couple porn bots. Resolute Germ's gotten hit with a couple porn bots there.
Yeah.
And so is Salty, and so is we had another person there that who was it? I can't remember.
It's not necessary to name off all the names.
Yeah.
But we just want to be polite to everybody. We're all friends here. And that's all. That's how we all got started. We all got started out in the chat. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you, sir or ma'am.
He said no. And welcome to Taylor Swift, creator of the Disney Star Wars.
Hello,
MCU.
Taylor Swift. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Hey, Taylor Swift. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
While we're at it, is there any other chat?
Yeah. And Elder Greg says, join the chat. One of us. Now
what? Google gobble.
No, it's power of one, power of two, power of many. Oh,
we don't talk about that. Jesus.
I don't even know what that is.
Do I have to go to the timeout, Nemesis?
I will put you in timeout, bro. Don't. We're carrying on. I'd rather listen to this story about puberty from the dad to the son 1,000
Okay,
times over, then.
All right, so there's no chat. I'm taking it then. All right,
Yeah.
never mind. Okay, here we go.
And I would say in the previous scene where they do what they discover about under his bed, and maybe where the alien intelligence is telling him to study our weaknesses, in other words, as well.
Right. So here's what's going on. Here's where, since him and the dad and the mom, found those magazines under his bed, and they're kind of confused at what's going on. So he's awkwardly having the birds and the bees discussion with the son, trying to get a grasp of what the son's interests are, or what's going on in his mind.
Yeah, and oh man, I was just cringing at this whole talk here. I was like, my
Plus
talk
birds and the
said,
bees.
yeah, well, at least for like the talk I got was just either wrap it or keep it in your pants, or where he is just trying to go full embarrassing 20 minutes conversation.
Yeah, well, it's like it's funny because it's kind of realistic. It's awkward. It's awkward because he's a new parent. He's never had a child before, and he's never and this kid isn't even theirs. They basically adopted him, so it's awkward. He's an awkward new father. I never had a birds and bees discussion with either of my parents, and this, if I would have had one from my dad, this is probably how it would have been. He probably would have. I could have probably told him a few things. My dad always was nervous and stuttering and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of personality he had. So this kind of reminds me of how he would have handled it.
Well, each parent has to eventually have to talk with their kid anyway.
Yes. Well, you hope, but that's the old days. That's why now they have, well, unfortunately, sex ed in school. But you have a lot of parents who don't even do it because they figure, oh, they'll learn from their friends or they'll learn on the street anyway. Which is why we got a lot of 12-year-old kids, girls that are pregnant.
Yeah, and here the dad gives somewhat bad advice because then his adopted son does the perverted thing.
Well, and this is what I was saying about him being able to control radio waves and whatnot, because he's like projecting this song to her through the laptop.
Right, awkwardly, right. He doesn't know how to serenade her or flatter her, so you're right. But to her, of course, she's just going to see it as creepy as hell.
Well, once you have all of a sudden your laptop just start playing music, like random love music.
Absolutely.
I'd be freaked out. And we get a flash of him in the window. Oh, not quite there yet.
Which is even creepier.
Yeah.
Which somehow she saw his face, like you did not learn to at least wear something to cover your face.
He's still new to this grill, that's why.
And I didn't quite be able to see him. Maybe we could catch it here. Because I did not see him.
Right
there.
There he is, right there.
There it is. There it was.
Right between the curtains. And I hope I didn't get a copyright strike for that. It's so hard to try to show you guys something without getting a warning, as you know.
Sony's pretty good with releasing them, from my experience.
And of course, the girl's freaked out. And she did recognize him. She knows who he is. And the mom doesn't really believe it. The mom's of course, thinking that maybe she was having a nightmare.
Yeah. And see, these night scenes were really unbelievable for me. You're telling me they live out in the country, and right now they're camping out in the woods. They're always hearing weird noises, and when they go outside at night, and she doesn't think to grab the 22. And I know they have that 22.
Well, they're used to living in that area. They know there's no deadly animals.
But they talk about a
Unless-
wolf being in the area later in the movie. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you always got some kind of predator. Is there like Kansas there? It wouldn't surprise me if their DNR kit brought in some bobcats just to take care
What
of
if
the deer
they're
population.
What if they're worried about guns being around their kids and their kids getting their hands on them?
Well, they already own one. Like I'd be if I'm going outside at night and I'm out on a fuck. If I'm out where they are at, or especially in the woods,
Uh huh.
I would be packing just in case of those wild animals. You never know what will wander around, and any animal can turn dangerous just depending on if you disturb it or not, and if it feels threatened.
Right. Right.
Even
The-
raccoons are dangerous.
There we are, back to the black roots again. Yuck. Birth control.
And she's like, "Well, like, what are you talking about? He's smack talking to," and this whole scene here made me laugh. She goes, "What are you worried about? You really think he needs help? All he's doing is smack talking his dad and has some weird jerk pictures underneath his bed. What are you worried about?" Did you know the one thing I noticed on there? He got real quick and defensive when she asked him what he was drawing, and he quickly slammed the book he doesn't want her to see.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yes.
That's some more foreshadowing.
And then their parents are realizing this. The parents are definitely realizing that he's keeping things from them. There's a wolf reference.
Yeah, but I will say it too. It's sort of natural that the kids would keep secrets from their parents.
Of course, we all did.
And then it was the parents' job to try to sneak in and see what your secret was without you knowing that they know.
And there's PvP.
Hey,
Hey,
PvP.
PvP. So,
Hello, PvP. How you doing there?
Oh, just had to turn my mic. Forgot to turn my mic on. Sorry about that.
Good to see you, sir.
so
I'm
PvP.
doing okay.
So PvP. Did you get hammered at your rock concert, or did you stay sober the whole time?
Well, it was an interesting experience. I got I stayed sober enough to enjoy the show and remember it, but I definitely did have a few. So, uh, actually, though, it wasn't like I wanted to just drink to get hammered. It was more like my knees, because we did a lot of walking on Friday afternoon around Vancouver, and my old knees are not used to walking miles and miles and miles in an afternoon. And boy, were they ever aching by the concert. So we were lucky though. We had an interesting evening. We decided to go a bit later because they open the doors at 7, but that the backup band comes on about an hour later at 8, and we weren't too worried about seeing them. And my cousin said, I've been here before. If you get there early, you're going to be standing in a lineup. Like you could be in a lineup for an hour because could go around the block, right? So we agreed, let's just go a little later. So, we got there, around the time when the backup band was already playing. So that worked out, and we saw about half an hour of them. By the way, they were really good. Like I wasn't expecting them to be necessarily a great band, but they were excellent. So we had a couple drinks, and then we knew that they had to reset the stage, and it'd be about 30 minutes, which it was. And so we wandered down to as close as we could get, which was about 3 rows from the stage. So we got pretty close, and
Cool.
yeah, it was great. We could see them up close and personal, kind of thing, right? A band I wanted to see for like 48 years, and I got to see them up close, and yeah, just it's so nice to be in a small venue where you get to really see the band. You're not looking at some screen a mile away. So Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I had the reason I
Why
ended up
don't you
having.
why don't we carry this on at the end of the show?
Yeah, it's
And
a good
then
point, Nemesis. I'm sorry. Sometimes when somebody asks me a question, I elaborate endlessly. I know. Yeah, let's
I
do
know
that.
it's all good, buddy.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
so the father hears a noise out in the barn, and he's going out to investigate.
Oh, this is a chicken scene, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Colonel Sanders would not approve.
Now I don't know if I could show this without getting flagged by YouTube, but yeah, basically it's a dead chicken. So the kid is starting to get a little more curious about anatomy.
Well, isn't that too, Pop, how they say serial killers start off by harming animals?
Yes,
Yes.
So that's what I picked up on right away. It's like, okay, I think he killed all the chickens,
but
basically,
they're
did he not?
thinking,
Yeah.
right? But remember, since they don't know what's really going on quite yet, they're thinking this is the wolf that did this.
Yeah, and she's thinking it's a wolf, and I was like, so why is it they have the 22 out there just in case it comes back? Just saying.
Well,
And he said,
and
"No, baby, I think this isn't a wolf. I mean, right? He's trying to tell her this isn't the wolf that did this."
yeah, and I was just gonna say that the father is starting to realize it's actually his adopted boy doing this, because he tells in a few slides from here that no one could actually undo the hatch, because no wolf could do that. It takes someone with opposable thumbs to do that, and
Yes,
to rip it off the hinges.
Well,
and
this
he
is
says,
also. Oh, sorry, Pop, if you
"Oh,
want to
go ahead,
go ahead, please.
PvP."
I was just going to say, this is great foreshadowing to what comes later on towards the end of the film, because the father is kind of starting to suspect, this is no wolf. Something weird is going on here, because, a wolf doesn't unlock a door, like that. So he's starting to think something's going on. The wife is kind of still like, she's thinking, oh, it's just a wolf. It's just a wolf. She doesn't want to consider anything else, that might, kind of put a monkey wrench in the situation, kind of thing. So
Right.
it's like right then we're seeing the tiny division between the parents beginning in this scene.
Yeah, but it also shows that the mother is also a very protective mother of her son, because she wants to protect him no matter what, and she wants to believe him no matter what. But then that naivete comes back to bite her in the ass, though.
Right, and it's the doubt that is making them two start to argue too, because they're both confused, and they weren't expecting this going in.
Yeah, it's like I think the dad is thinking in practical terms, like, wolves don't do this. Something else has done this, and he's trying to figure out what might have done it. Whereas mom is just being protective, right? And she doesn't want to think that, her lovely little son had anything to do with it, because he's, such a perfect little kid, right? So, yeah.
And here comes another scene that's somewhat disturbing.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it seems pretty brutal.
It is. This is when it became a horror film for me at this point, because I was like, oh, yuck. That's not good. And, it was disturbing because up to this point, Brandon maybe he killed some chickens, but it wasn't like he had turned into like a psychopath yet, But when he breaks, and especially the thing is, he's attracted to this girl. He likes this girl. He has feelings, puberty rumblings for this girl, and then he goes and breaks her hand. Like, wow, that freaked me out. Actually,
And see, this is where I got the Charlie X vibes from.
Charlie X, yes, good one, Gorilla.
Yeah, because they purposely made him fall to the ground, even because he didn't even want to do this, And they're sitting there mocking, laugh at him, and then he loses control of his emotions there and just breaks the hand of the person that made him feel like this.
Yeah,
Well,
and I would say that at this point, I kind of get the vibe that whoever even falls out of line in his viewpoint, they're dead.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the inferiority or the superiority complex. Yes.
Yeah. And I just loved how the mothers were being passively aggressive to each other.
Oh
They're
yes.
still being cordial, but basically they're just saying fuck you to each other.
Yes.
Because the one mother wants him arrested and thrown away. But the other one's like, he's my baby boy. He wouldn't do anything to anybody.
Yeah,
But-
she's still very, very protective gorilla. Like
No,
mothers sometimes are.
she's looking at her son. Now, of course, she's going to protect him to the very end. She's going to say, "My son would never do that." But I think they're starting to get suspicious. The way she's looking at him right now, I think she's starting to get suspicious that I don't know. Maybe she's not going to tell anybody yet, but maybe he's not. Maybe there's something going on that we don't quite get the whole.
The seeds
grasp
of doubt have been sowed.
Yeah, right
So-
there. Oh, we missed the one sign there, but she's basically started calling him a pervert, and I'm not sure if he can hear this whole conversation or not.
Have
Well, they never established that he has super hearing. No.
Okay,
Okay.
but can you catch up on chats?
Well, he
Good
does.
idea.
Well,
Thank you.
All right, go
kid-
ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
sit down.
the kid does do a dirty look to the mother, so he probably could hear her somewhat.
I'm guessing if I had to vote, I'm guessing probably yes.
Yeah, because he's right outside the door, and those doors aren't that thick.
They're not. In fact, a regular kid could probably hear the conversation through the door.
Yeah, but MC Nemesis on Amazon Music said, "WTF? LOL." And
No, it's okay, dude. It's just this is a review for these movies, and we don't want to seem unfriendly. Believe me, we're open to everybody. That's how we all become friends.
Yeah.
It's just that we've had people come on, and they've done and shown things that could get our channel shut down. So it's only a precaution, and it's nothing personal. No offense.
Yeah.
Come in and hang out with us a little more, and you'll be able to come back on the panel.
Yeah. People, these trolls have ruined it for everybody.
Well, you know, if
Yeah,
I
so
might,
it's nothing personal.
I just would add my little 2 cents that if you want to, become a member of the community, and if you want to become a panel member on our various awesome channels that all you great guys have, I would say establish a presence, establish yourself
Right,
as
that's
a
what I
channel.
told him. Right, I
Right.
was telling him. Right, I was telling him before you came on PvP.
Okay.
When he first comes on, hang out in the chat, talk to people, get to know each other, maybe sub to the channel, stuff like that. And then that way, right? It's like gaining our trust. And that's not to say that we don't trust you. It's just that, like I said, it's because there's a lot of nasty people out there that we've learned.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's just to protect
yeah.
our channel is all.
Well, there have been a few people burned in the community over the last 2 or 3 months. Unfortunately, I was there, and I realized what happened
Right,
was
but
not
we
good.
don't. Right, but out of right, we've already said that, and I don't want to say names.
Okay. Well, no, I was never going to say names. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and other Greg says, yeah, my parents never mentioned that particular subject either. Pop, figure it out on your own. Figure it out on your own, boy. We
That's
are
right, on your own.
free-range children. Yeah, watch
you
out for
talking-
lawn darts.
Are you talking about the talk when kids hit puberty? Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the short version there. He said, but other Greg says, watch out for lawn darts. Now we used to play the game of chicken there, but we used a buck knife there instead of the lawn darts.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this really quick, just for fun. A quick poll: yes or no, Y for in, or Y for yes, in for no. Did you guys get the talk from your parents? So put your answer in the chat. I'm curious. Did you get the awkward birds and bees chat?
Yeah. And Sean says, LOL, the father-son discussion in the movie. Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood was hilarious.
and
And he goes, Grace is right, Sean. Then gorilla versus bobcat.
I was gonna say also MC Nemesis, if you can. I don't know if you familiar with YouTube or do you have a YouTube channel? If you can come on YouTube, and then you'll have a lot more availability to my channel.
Yeah.
Because I
Hey,
know you're on Amazon, but if you come on YouTube, there's a lot better accessibility. You can become a subscriber, and
Yeah.
you can come on our panels and all this other stuff. So I think that's part of the problem why you're limited is because you're contacting us through Amazon.
Hey, Pop, look at private chat. And let's see, gorilla uses Kirk chop on wild animals when he doesn't want to make noise with his guns. No. We do the Spock Vulcan neck pinch. Yeah, PvP ate all the free popcorn. Says Greg.
Shame.
No, he didn't eat all the free popcorn. He drank all the free eggnog.
Now there was no popcorn or eggnog at the concert, but there was. They have a great bar at the Commodore, and I did partake in quite a few bourbons, so that was fun.
Alrighty, so PvP can here you read this one, PvP.
Okay, PvP could use a floaty chair like in the movie WALL-E. I could use one myself sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a great comeback coming up, by the way, after that one, Gorilla.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, I'd have to say, as you guys know, lately I've been having trouble getting around as far as mobility. The last thing I would want to do is to wish for a chair like that where I don't have to walk on my own. Because right now, I want to walk on my own as long as I can and as much as I can. I don't want to have to be wheeled around or get stuck in doorways or have people push me or have no way to get up the stairs. So I know when you watch the movie WALL-E, that seems like a nice, fun convenience, but it's going to get in the point of your life where you're going to miss that if you ever lose it. But sorry, I know it's a different topic. Go ahead, guys.
It's true though, Pop. There's people in my building that are my age that have to go around those little scooter thingies. You guys have seen those, right? Where you have like a little scooter, and they can't. I guess they can't walk anymore, and it scares the hell out of me because I would not want to, lose the use of my legs. And after the weekend walking around Vancouver, I realized I really need to get some weight off and get back in shape because
just do a little bit of walking.
I need to walk. Yeah.
Start adding like maybe an hour, at least maybe start at a half hour walking every day. Just do nothing big, just around your neighborhood.
Exactly. My mom was healthy as a horse till 90 because she walked everywhere.
Right, but walking is something.
It works. Sorry, Pop. Anyway, I'll
I know it sounds. No, it's fun. It's fine, but I know it sounds fun to have a scooter and just cruise around without having to walk, but that'll get old really fast. Believe me, less than a day, you'll be tired of it. Okay, so we done. I'm assuming we're done with chat. I'm going to continue with the movie.
No, we got distracted. PvP says yes. A floaty chair would rock. I'd look too much like
Rigel.
So I have no idea who that is.
That's the little puppet guy that floats around in Farscape.
Yeah, Farscape.
Okay. And if you've ever seen him, I'm definitely doing some self-depreciating humor there.
All right, Greg is laughing. He goes, "Yeah, Charlie X, great reference, girl." Well, thank you. And wise precautions, Pop. Said nope, no, and I acknowledge that
I was gonna say my spelling's totally crap. It says no. I learned that in sex ed class. I did.
Oh, we learned some things about our teacher in sex ed class. That's a story for rumblings, baby. PvP, I still haven't figured out this boy-girl thing yet.
Our sex ed class was horrible. It really was. I mean, they were showing like movies for
Oh,
filmed from
we
the
gotta let's
50s.
finish the chat if we can, guys.
Yeah.
Sean says no. Scooby says, hey, PvP there. And yeah, Six Heads classes are a joke. Quite alias. No, yeah, now he's got himself corrected. Everybody say hi. And Gorilla's foliage chair would definitely get stuck in every doorway. Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks for that, Goiler. Thanks a
Folding
lot.
chair.
He called me fat.
Yeah, but I'm thinking a folding chair getting stuck in the doorway. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all the chats.
Thank you. All right, so here's the parents are still arguing at the parent meeting about the discipline and what discipline should or shouldn't the boy receive.
And both brothers are outraged. For one thing, the kid should get the electric chair. Another one's like, how dare you punish my baby boy?
Well, of course. And of course, there we go. I had to do that because my video player was locked up.
Yeah, and there is the dirty look he gave the mother right there.
It's more than a dirty look, though. It's like I'm gonna get you look,
Yes,
which is foreshadowing again, right?
which definitely gives the mother the creeps. That's a nice house.
Yeah, an old antebellum house. That which
And
are
property.
popular in the south, more in the south, like Georgia.
Yeah, they are. My sister rented one a few years ago. The property value there is so cheap. You can get those. You can even rent one of those houses for like $300 or $400 a month. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't think that you see them much in Kansas. They're more of like a Georgia, South Carolina thing.
Mississippi, Georgia, or anywhere where they had really, really a lot of intense slavery.
Yeah, I was thinking like those that like Gone with the Wind and stuff like that when I see those houses,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So here's where they're arguing about the kid, of course, about they're not exactly sure what's going on.
Yeah, and the father sort of knows that his kid is more than normal, but again, the kid is an alien from another world, so the father is scared on how to punish his kid, even though he knows his kid's being more powerful.
They don't know that yet. Right? Exactly. They don't know exactly yet what he's hiding. About the mystery.
The thing is, I mean, obviously they found him, in the spaceship, and they raised him as their own son as a human. But they obviously are aware he's an alien from another world. But they're still, they don't want to really think about that. Like they still want to think he's just a little baby boy.
They've been trying to hide all that from him. That's why she's now telling the dad, by the way, I found him in the barn snooping around.
Mm. Do you guys think it has something to do with he's like hitting puberty here and that triggers?
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that before you came on.
Oh, okay.
Somehow it's like synchronized with whatever signal is coming from that ship.
It's funny how we don't have powers like the kid does when we hit puberty.
Thank goodness.
Just we think we have good parents and good mentors to guide us if we ever have those powers to use them wisely.
It's funny how all movies and TV shows now are all showing Google. For all the many years, they would just show because it was a movie and due to copyrights and all that stuff, they would just show with some fake search engine. But they're getting where they're all just finally just showing Google because they know Google pretty much runs the world.
Also, they know the audience is sophisticated. I mean, I don't know who hasn't used Google, right, Pop? Like, you have to live in a cave to not use Google.
In fact, if they don't show Google, if they show something else, it'll usually get a unintentional laugh out of the audience.
Is somebody like eating something or?
Yeah, that was me. My apologies. I thought my mic was muted. Sorry, boys.
Okay, no, I could hear you loud and clear there, Nemesis.
Yes,
Dear. Sorry about that.
yes,
No worries.
and this was the scene I was going to try to bring up later when I said the earlier thing, but this scene actually sort of gave me the idea that this is when the alien spaceship's influence got complete control over him or total influence over him for him to do the bad things he does from here on out right here.
I think it's
Okay.
beginning to. I think it takes time for him to really go over the edge, but this is the start. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it
right
tells
there.
him to take over the world.
But he changes slowly, right? He doesn't turn into a monster immediately. He's in a way he's kind of fighting it, I think, for a while.
He is.
You know?
Because he's originally he's a good kid at heart.
Well, he was raised by Earth parents, so he has
Uh-huh.
Earth values implanted in his mind, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then the alien values now are taking him over. So it's almost like he's got two personalities here.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I said previously too. It's like he's developing multiple personality disorder too. Two personalities in one body.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, I think he was sent to Earth as a weapon.
It seems like he was sent to Earth to conquer it. What
yeah,
I got out
very
of it.
possible. Very possible.
Yeah, and how do you stop a Superman-like being without knowing his weakness?
A couple nukes ought to do it.
It's interesting how you brought up Superman, though, because by this point I was definitely thinking about Superman. Well, even from the start, when they found his ship crashed and they raised him as their own, it was like Ma and Pa Kent scenario, right? Like, except where Superman turned out to be a heroic figure. Unfortunately, this kid turns out to be the
Yes.
opposite, pretty much.
But you know what I do like is now that that's not where the similarities end. I like the fact that he seems to prefer red and blue, just like Superman. So they even got the colors almost the same.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and you know what? I had to think back to that show Smallville because there's stuff in the early season of Smallville where he's discovering his alien heritage, and he does look at his ship when he finally realizes where he came from, right? And it's an
Yes.
interesting parallel with this movie. I really thought that was cool.
So here's where he finally asks his mother, "Where did I come from?" Because it's like, okay, come on, Mom. I'm not from here, obviously. So you need to be straight with me once and for all.
And I do have a question for the panel. Is his response actually pretty logical, or is his response kind of impulsive?
I think he's doing the right thing. I think it's about right for where he's at in life. Especially a lot of it's like she's saying he's being teased from all the kids in school. And that's not cool. He's going to obviously, he's going to have questions about that. And obviously, as being a kid who's being bullied, he's going to be wanting to start learning how to defend himself one way or another. Now, you can't blame him for that. And now she's telling him the tale and the story, which it's about time he needs to hear it.
Yeah, that they found him and said he's not adopted.
Yes. And just like the story of Mom, Pa Kent.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if Superman was raised in different circumstances, he would be like this kid, slowly turned evil for having bad influences or bad parents that treat him like crap. In other words.
Well, and when you think about this, if you're him, you realize, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I'm more stronger than smarter than all these other people. Why should I put up with this? I can rule the world, So it's very easy for that to happen.
I was just thinking though, there is such a Superman parallel in this movie. I was thinking it's like if his father had not been Jor-El, instead had been like General Zod, I could see this scenario
Yes.
totally happening, right?
Yes, exactly. That's also it too. It was his upbringing on Metropolis.
I mean, I'm sure the director must have taken a big chunk of this idea out of the Superman mythos, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he did.
Well, it's produced by James Gunn. That's what I was mentioning last week. And James Gunn is obviously a superhero fan.
Mm.
Remember, James Gunn, the producer of this movie, is the one who's making the new Superman movie. Keep that in mind.
Oh gosh, I hope it turns out well then. By the way, I thought this kid was an excellent actor. Like he's really good in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Actually, the entire cast was pretty awesome, I gotta say, guys.
Yeah, I think the casting was top notch. I agree with that too.
Yeah, and you also need a good director to direct the actors to put on a good performance too, though. Too.
Yes, and now he's upset and he blows his top because he realizes that he's not who he's been told his entire life.
Yeah. So he freaks out just about as bad as Charlie X did.
I think
Yeah.
I think he goes a little over the top.
I guess
Smashing
you'd say
everything.
that.
Oh well.
Yeah, and that was sort of my question previously. Like, does he handle it pretty well, or does he just go way overreacting with the news he's given just now? Is his reaction actually natural and normal, or is he
Well,
going too over the top? In other words, too.
look at those eyes. That should tell you something, right?
Yes.
I think it's a lot of it. Not only he realizes his parents have lied to him the whole time, but think about it. With all the bullying going on in school, he's realizing how alone he actually is.
Yeah, and here his other personality truly shows in this first scene.
Yeah. Oh, this is where it really starts to get creepy. Oh my, I feel so sad for this poor girl. Because she actually liked him. Like, I remember early in the film when he was like going on about bees and wasps and sounding like a total nerd, and the rest of the class was like, making fun of him, and she was kind of like sticking up for him, right? You
Now, if I
know?
remember right, she arrived right now. He arrived uninvited just through her window, right? So
Oh yeah,
that's why
scared.
she's like, okay, what is going on here?
Actually, I think that was an earlier scene, Pop, and this is after he broke her hand, and
Oh
he
no,
just
it
like,
is. Yeah, that was an earlier scene, but this is
yeah.
where last time he was just peeking through the window. Now he actually came in the room, is what I'm saying.
It's just like he materializes out of thin air almost or something, right? Because he disappears shortly after this, does he not?
She looks familiar too. She reminds me of another actress who's obviously much older now, almost like it's her daughter.
Hmm.
But I could be wrong.
Well, like Jennifer Aniston's daughter or something.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
This is where the film really turned for me. This scene is like, wow.
No spoilers.
Oh, this is the ones of all the scenes. This is the one I wanted to talk about.
Do it after. Just
Yeah.
for people that have not seen, I don't want to tell them that something's coming up every time something's going to come up.
Yeah, I'll make a comment later on after the scene.
Yeah, after. Now this is, if I remember right, the mother of the daughter, right?
Yes.
Right, the daughter that's being stalked or followed or whatever. And she works at a diner. And it's closed and everybody's gone, I guess. Apparently she's the only one there. And this is where she sees these symbols drawn in the mist of the glass. And these are the same ones that the boy was drawing when he was sitting in class and he got bored.
Yeah, tell me, do you think the boy breathed cold air to make them show up, or is that just it's cold at night and it showed up on the windows like that?
Well, either way, we know the kid put them in there. Now, I don't know if he made it cold enough or if it was already naturally cold enough. I don't know. I don't know if they established the temperature, did they, or the weather report?
No, I'm just theorizing or asking a theoretical question.
Right, which is fine.
Ouch,
And
that's gotta hurt.
yeah, that's a good effect right there.
And right here, this is what you don't do. You do not pull it out. You get to the hospital, have the professionals take it out. Don't pull it out yourself.
100%. That's right. Like she's causing more. Well, ultimately, like just her looking around is causing more damage. But like she's in shock. She's freaking out. She rips out this huge chunk. Like I feel really bad for this chick. Like she's like most of the people who die in this movie, I feel bad about. And like this girl was just trying to defend her daughter, and like from some creepy little kid.
Think about this. The smartest thing for her to do is, yes, not touch it, but yet she can't drive like that because her eyes are going to be moving all over the place.
Call
So the best thing to
911.
do is 911. Yeah, so I was going to say the best thing is just call 911 if he hasn't disconnected the phones. You know that old trope where they turn on the, or they pick up the phone and it's dead, which is very likely.
Yeah, but everybody has cell phones in this movie. This is the age that landlines are even dying.
Don't you love it? Oh yeah, I love Igor.
I think this is the first really good practical effect of the film, is it not, guys?
It wasn't
Well,
practical.
The first
When she
one was
pulls-
the lawnmower. The first one it was gore effect, yes. Gore effect, yeah, but as far as effect for effect for effect was when he tossed the lawnmower across the yard.
And then when he stuck his hand in the blade, like that was pretty cool too, right?
True.
But I knew he wasn't going to get cut because he's the main protagonist, so of course he was fine.
Right here is what I wanted to talk about. I liked how they show like one eye's clear and the other eye's bloody, but in all reality, though, like either it'd be like blind, you'd only be seeing one eye there, or your other eye would compensate so you see like a complete like blood in one.
I think
all
it would
together.
be I think it would be like a solid red because I don't think the cornea or the pupil would be working at all. So I think it might be, but of course I wouldn't know. I've never experienced it.
Yeah. Either one eye wouldn't function at all. If it does, the other eye would compensate. So you're seeing the same thing because like your eyes will actually eliminates a lot of stuff there. Like you're always seeing like your nose, but the reason you can't see it is because your mind actually blots it out. I think the same thing would happen here, that the eye would adjust or you just can't see out of the one eye.
Exactly.
And this may seem like a ridiculous question, but can you save the eye, or is that eye just basically, if the doctor gets to it, he's trying to say to her?
If they left the thing in, maybe. But if she pulled it out, no.
Hey, how much are you willing to spend to fix your eye?
Therein lies the question.
Yeah, I don't know about the pay benefits at that little diner.
Yeah, well, my question is, I would probably was thinking that eye that probably was not salvageable at all. The doctor probably had to remove it if she went to a doctor. The eye probably had to be removed.
Well, I guarantee if they're guaranteed to get their money, they try a lot harder than if they know they're not going to get it paid for.
Yeah, I think it depends on the medical technology at the time too, because I'll just keep this very quick. My grandfather he got poked with a stick in the eye as a kid when they were playing with pirates with his friend, and he still had his eye though. I mean, he couldn't see out of it, and it looked like scrambled eggs in his one eye. When I was a kid, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. But he never lost the eye, but he had no vision, obviously.
Well, I know a kid that got hit in the eye with a paintball from a paintball gun.
Wow.
And the eye was intact, but just looked like solid white. Kind of like what you're talking about with the scrambled eggs, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it didn't bother him, like he wasn't in pain or anything. And once he healed up, I guess.
Yeah, once he heals up, they get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here it shows that the parents, or at least the father, is now really scared of his son right here.
Yeah, word's gotten around town that the other mother's not doing so well.
And here the kid learns how to lie very good, or he's been lying the whole time.
Yep. But he's smart. Since he's smarter than us, he's learning how to manipulate the parents too and control what they're thinking.
Sorry about that.
And welcome back, good old gorilla.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and Gorilla looks like the dad in the movie with a nice beard.
Oh my goodness, he does. Uh-oh. You haven't raised any alien children there, have you, Gorilla?
No, just a World War II air raid siren. All right, can we catch up on chats real quick?
Sure.
Please do.
Scurvy is laughing at Euler there. And then Scurvy here says antebellum means pre-war in Latin. Oh, cool. I did not know that. Is that a warehouse guy from The Office? I have absolutely no idea. Do you guys know?
I don't.
I have no idea. It's probably filmed in Canada like everything else, but I wouldn't know.
Alrighty. Let's see. Floating chairs are all the same size, Gorilla. I wasn't commenting about your weight, just your ability to maneuver a floating chair. Well, I'm sober, so I can maneuver it slightly. And Scurvy says, "Oh, yet we all imagine a tubby man not able to fit through a doorway." And Sean says, "We don't get powers when we hit puberty. Speak for yourself. I caused a few to become religious."
Oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, Greg reminds me of the sanity powerful kid from the Twilight Zone episode. I'm not sure. I became into Twilight Zone halfway through Bird's things, so
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm not getting the reference.
The one where it's Billy Mooney and he wished to match the cornfield. It's been a good day, a very good day.
It's called "It's a Good Life" and it is a classic.
Yes,
and
it is.
I thought,
Schleichman.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought the director and the writers must have drawn on that Twilight Zone episode. It was pretty obvious, actually.
It is, and they actually made 3 episodes. That actually had a sequel to that episode had 2 sequels to it, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And Other Greg says, "I am not responsible for your imaginary fixation, Scurvy." And PvP just tells him it's a good life. The episode there.
Yes, there you
go. Other Greg says, "Well, I got spider powers when I was a teenager, Sean. You didn't get your powers?"
Do you mean when you hit puberty, you wanted to climb the walls? Is that what you're saying there, Euler?
or was it sticky stuff on your hands?
Probably that,
Oh, gross.
Yeah, probably that,
yeah. Oh man. Wow.
Well, you just had to say it, did you?
Well said, Pop. Well said.
Something we can all relate to, I'm guessing.
Any of the boys in the group, anyways.
All right. Kirby says,
gosh.
will we get to see a bully take some heat vision? You'll have to wait and find out, Scurvy.
Yep, we will hopefully see.
Yeah, that Scurvy. LOL, Lord Greg. And Ruh-roh. All right, that's all the chats.
All right. Thank you for that, Gorilla. And here we go. And continue. And now for the town is finally investigating. So we got the sheriff, deputy, and so on. And I like even the casting with them. I thought it was pretty good, genuine, and realistic. I could picture him as a small town sheriff.
Well, he didn't do much investigating. He goes, well, it doesn't look like a robbery. Well, did
Yeah.
you check the cash register? Did you check the safe?
Right.
You could have at least gone over and opened up the cash register and seen that all the cash is still there. That would have been a nice touch.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, and here we have a scene between him and his adopted aunt.
Well, by the way, it was filmed in Georgia. I just looked it up, guys.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I noticed that Georgia's really is starting to replace Hollywood for a lot of filming locations.
Well, that's
Well,
what
wherever
they did
wherever
Walking Dead there, right? So,
wherever they can get those tax cut benefits, because that's where they're always seeking when they're going to make a movie. Is they always find out where they can save some money at and get some tax breaks.
that's why
Well,
they come to Canada, pop, like BC, like $1 billion
Yeah,
industry here, right?
exactly.
Because
Especially
our
Canada.
Canadian dollar is cheaper, plus the tax credits from the government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
Canada's a
think
very good example.
Well, I think the part of the problem is California taxes them and too many regulations for them. So they say, "Screw it, we'll go to a state that's more friendly to us."
Well,
The thing
California
is,
is one of the most expensive places to shoot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thing
I would
we
say,
Go ahead, Sci-Fi. Sorry.
and I would say that in this scene, it shows that the kid is very apathetic towards what he did, because he knows he's far more intelligent and he really does not care about the lower life forms. He's very
Right.
superior.
Yeah, and what are they going to do, huh? What are they going to do to him, right?
Yeah, he started to think of us as like ants or something, right? Just to be stepped on.
Uh-huh.
Well, he just pretty much told her to go to hell, and she goes, "Come on, I need something to report back to your parents, the principal, the sheriff."
She's trying to give him a break, right? And he's just like, I don't care.
Or better yet, what she says here is actually a threat to his existence, as he knows it. Because if she says something about him, he'll be exposed, and he has to eliminate her as a threat.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. Like, it's his alien heritage kicking in when he hit puberty or whatever. And, it's like if he hadn't done any of this, he could have had been perfectly fine because he wouldn't have to cover it up. But he's too deep at this point.
Yes, there's too much suspicion. Especially now with the sheriff and everybody involved.
Yeah, well, once he committed the murder, it's like that's pretty much he's pretty much done at that point. well, we'll see.
How are we doing in the chat, Gorilla?
We just got one that
Thank
said,
you.
and Greg, I think he's a couple of minutes behind. He's just laughing at your comment there.
Hey, Pop, was Sticky Fingers your favorite Rolling Stones album?
You know what?
Sorry.
I'm going to that it's actually, you know where I got that from? It's actually grounded in reality. Well, and that's the way you guys are thinking. The first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Saw it. Yep.
Okay, I was following along every step of the making of that movie. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan and Spider-Man fan, so I was watching everything. And what happened was, as we all know, Spider-Man in the comic books and the cartoons had mechanical web shooters. So they were deciding that should they have mechanical web shooters where Peter Parker builds them and then wears them on his wrist, or should they have natural where they shoot him out of his hands like they came out with, where they were natural, where he didn't have any web shooters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened was they were having a discussion and they were going to shoot a scene to where when Peter Parker was sitting in his apartment room with Aunt May outside the door, he was going to be realizing that he had the shooters, and that they start shooting scenes. They actually did film them, scenes where he was shooting with the web effects coming directly out of his hands, and his hands getting stuck together. And they thought, well, this looks like a kid in puberty who's jacking off. And this is going to cause laughter throughout the audience. So that's why they made the mechanical effects. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. They probably made a good decision going with the mechanical effects, actually, Pop.
Right. So what happened was with the later Spider-Man movies, he had a mechanical shooters, but they just never actually focused on the hands or on mechanical versus physical. Does that make sense?
Organic, you mean?
Organic, yes. But that's where I had heard that from. Anyway, any more chat?
One more. Other Greg says, I love how Pop has background information about his off-the-cuff jokes. Who else does that? Nobody. Cheers, Pop.
Well, comedy is inspired by everything. Stand-up comedians, everything. They'll tell you everything they ever do. That's what George Carlin said. Is that everything, all their jokes, everything they learn is from something they see in real life. A lot of it tragedy. But fortunately, that's not tragedy. Okay. So here we have later on the townsfolk gathering around.
Well, they're at the local bar getting some drinks and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Some guy makes a joke in poor taste. It's all about timing. He picked the wrong time to make the joke.
Well, what's going on is everybody is suspicious of the kid, and of course the uncle is the dad and the uncle are on the defense. But obviously the town's going to get suspicious because there's not that many suspects.
Yeah, and here we have
his aunt, the school counselor he was talking to earlier.
I gotta say, for a school counselor, she's got a pretty awesome place here.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And
well, what does the husband do for work?
I
don't think he does a lot. It's either construction or something along the line. He's definitely blue collar, but since she's a counselor, she's white collar. So I'm guessing she's where most of the money comes in.
Well, school counselors don't really make all that much, but construction you can make quite a bit of money there.
School counselor, right? A school counselor. Think about it. Yeah, it's a school counselor, but she's still a psychiatrist or psychologist. That still makes money. So they do make good money. That's just like a school campus cop. You think your first people think of when they think of a security well, hold on, let me get this correct. I don't mean a security guard. I mean where the high schools have an actual police officer appointed. The first thing a lot of people think of is that he's probably making high school wages. He's not. He's making the same wage as a regular cop is. So it's the same with a school counselor, all that. They're making the same as even if they weren't working in a school.
Well, it's not only that, she's the only one in the county. That they made the whole point because they're like, really? The therapist is his aunt? Are you serious? And they're like, well, she's the only one around. So she's in high demand, we'll say.
And I do have a question for PvP. Do you think she's cute, PvP?
Oh, hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, she's good looking. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so she is making some pretty good money there I'm looking up since they're in Kansas. She's probably making about $58,000. That's the average, but it starts out like 30, and depending on your experience and your time there, it can go up to 97. So she's probably
I was gonna say I think she's making more than that.
So she's probably making about $60,000 a year, and he's probably making the same amount on construction there. because you get paid good depending on the type of construction you can make in your job. You can make quite a bit of money there. So they're doing pretty good for themselves. And Kansas is a pretty cheap state to live in.
And the thing is, they're probably renting the house too. They might not be homeowners, right? So
Oh no, Kansas, you'd be if they're making that kind of money, they're owning because Kansas, you can get their property there 2019 would probably run them probably 75, depending on how big the town is.
boy, that's cheap. That's so cheap.
Oh yeah, like you can get hundreds of acres out in Wyoming for like 500.
I guess if you want to live in Wyoming, that's the thing, right?
Now, they established that this takes place in Kansas.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
because the
By the-
town is Brightburn, Kansas.
By the
Gotcha.
way, weren't the Kents Superman's parents in Kansas?
Yeah,
Yes.
Smallville. Uh-huh.
Okay, I kind of figured that was another connection.
Well, I just find it funny that the town's called Brightburn. He's Billy whatever, and then like his symbol is a BB, right? Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
all very much based off of the classic Superman or superhero tropes from back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Not just Superman, but other ones as well.
Yeah, and I gotta say that in this scene, it kind of shows how the kid's actually trying to reason with this aunt. But in this scene, I feel sorry for both her and the kid because he's like, well, I can just see the kid hearing in his head, well, that was pointless. She can't be reasoned with.
Well, the thing is,
Right.
as she says, she has to do her job. She doesn't have a choice, and he doesn't understand that as a teenager. I guess an immature teenager, right? And I saw this scene as more of him threatening her. It's like you
100%.
don't want to call the sheriff because it won't be good for you. And
Oh, he
you know,
says that.
yeah, she's not picking up on the vibe, right? Like she's just
Yeah.
trying to be a nice school counselor, so she's not getting the threat.
Yeah, and the reason why I said that he was trying to reason was because at this point I knew he was super intelligent, so I was saying, well, super intelligent being would try to reason with someone at least at first, but then if it doesn't work, they go back to brute force, in other words, option, or they just outright destroy you.
I
And
just,
that's
Yeah,
what
and
he's
they're-
doing.
we're
I would
inferior beings.
I would agree.
We're inferior beings.
And I have to say, once again, and this is twice in one movie, hideous, fucking ugly hair, black roots. It's like, what are they gonna do? All the women have to be like that, or what? What the fuck?
I think it's a very bad still of her, actually, because she is more attractive in other scenes.
It's black roots. Doesn't matter what's seen or the lighting or anything else. It's black roots with bleached hair. That's my point.
I guess it depends if that, personally, that doesn't bother me too big time.
I know if you like it, that's fine. I'm just saying my
I didn't
opinion.
say I
I don't
liked
like it.
I didn't like it. I just said it's not like I don't like it. It's like
It's like
it's
dirty
okay,
dishwater hair.
You know.
If I had to give it a name, it'd be like dirty dishwater hair or something like that. I don't know.
I just think.
So I
she's,
assume we're done with chats.
Yeah, we've been it's really pretty.
All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, there we go. He wants to talk to her, and of course she's saying it's not appropriate right now.
Well, yeah, he's showing up at her house at like what 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's
that's
late.
creepy. Yeah, it's creepy as hell, really.
Notice he has his backpack on, which means he hasn't been home.
That's the thing. He keeps digging himself deeper and deeper with this spiral of lies he tells, right, and threats and all the bad stuff he's doing, and obviously it's got to catch up with him at some point. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, she's getting suspicious because of all the questions he's got.
hmm
And she keeps hinting, go home, go home.
Yeah, and it was at this point that I kind of saw the boy's points, like, well, since he's highly sensitive, like, if I was saying in my head, I was saying, well, that was pointless. Must go to plan B. blunt force.
And of course, she gets another alert motion detector, which I don't know if Alexis or that kind of stuff, if they had that stuff built in or what. But she has a talking motion detector, apparently.
Yeah, and he disables it.
Which shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, it shows his intelligence too, more.
Yes. Now it's really going haywire. Alert, alert, alert.
Yeah, I gotta say that this is one of the few movies that actually portrays the villain as a hyper-intelligent force. In other movies, the villain is either dumb as a pile of rocks or some other trope.
Yeah, it depends on the screenwriter, doesn't it?
I think there's been quite a few villains that are quite intelligent in movie history, though. I don't think they're all dumb as rocks. I mean, that's my take anyway, Dan.
Yeah,
I mean, some are, but some are just plain crazy, right? They're like the mad scientist trope or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's some like Lex Luthor, for instance. Like, he was pretty intelligent, He might have
been, but I would say this. I would say this. They're few and far between, but most villains are, like I said before, dumb as rocks, though they are.
What about Darth Vader? He was pretty smart, was he not? Like,
yes, he was.
Yep.
There are gems out there, but most of them are just chunks of coal, basically.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it also depends on the smarts of the filmmaker and the screenwriter, because when they go in and write the bad guy as an idiot, they don't have much faith in their movie, and they're not really planning on that movie going anywhere. So
they're also saying the audience are idiots, I think, Pop.
Yeah, that too. They don't want the audience to be one step ahead of the movie. But like with Lex Luthor, you've got to have a smart villain in order to be equal to a smart hero like Superman. So that's why it would be dumb. I don't know if any of you guys are aware of The Tick, the superhero cartoon.
I have heard of
it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Pop. The Tick?
The Tick.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
Me too. But all his villains are all idiots, which makes it funny. Right, which makes it funny. The show is hilarious, but he's not smart either. By the way,
that was a brief TV series, wasn't it? Like, not too many episodes, but
it was an animated show on Fox, and then they tried a couple times live action with Patrick Warburton, and the live action versions really didn't work well, because they just didn't have the money to realize with the show, what it could have done. Everything happened off screen.
Yeah, it was really too bad. Because it had the potential. The writing was there. It was funny. Like that. There you had a
right. Patrick Warburton was amazing as the Tick. The actor was great.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. He blinded them all with weaponized syphilis. It's just like, what?
Wow, that sounds scary.
Yes, it does. About as scary as this scene here, where, like, I couldn't imagine being my uncle and being like, finding your nephew in the closet with a creepy mask on after all of this bullshit has gone down, and then being like, dude, let's go. Like, and he's like, oh, you're not going to tell mom and dad, are you? He's like, dude, you're lucky if that's all that I do to you. And then he disappears, and it's just like, whoa, what the fuck? Where'd he go?
But that's when that's when the uncle's night is still good. Like, at this point.
Yeah.
He hears a noise coming from the closet. And this is it, right? It's like, what the hell are you doing here?
That is pretty fucked up if you find this kid in your closet with a weird mask. Like, oh my. Oh.
And I like the design of that mask. It makes it look like it's homemade, but yet it's like distinguishes him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like homemade, but not like something he bought out of a store. Just something to be unique and memorable.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Go for
And
it.
I would say this: that mask actually looks like a homemade Spider-Man mask.
It does. It looks like that's what I meant by earlier when I said that this movie pulled tropes from different superheroes. It's like, yeah, we had the Superman trope, but in a way we also had the Spider-Man Peter Parker trope.
I think it does make sense though, since he's like a teenage kid. He's going to make his own mask, and he's going to base it. He might have based it on like superheroes that he'd seen, because I mean we're talking.
Yes,
He's raised on Earth, so he probably knows about Spider-Man, right? So I could see him making a mask similar to Spider-Man.
right. He could very, very easily be growing up in a world like ours, where he's aware of Spider-Man and Superman and all them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing is they're not going to mention it because of copyright issues, and having to pay, royalties to whatever company. So that's why they're not going to actually mention or show images of Superman or Spider-Man.
Hmm.
And here's where you're driving the kid home.
And then he's not. It's like, ouch.
Yeah,
Tell me,
I was hoping to catch that.
tell me, did the kid actually stun him with his heat vision, or was it just? Did he turn down his heat vision to a minimum setting where he doesn't kill someone?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on, guys.
I think it was just some kind of psychic kinetic energy. He slammed him against the house there.
Well, there was red energy that popped out in front of him that pushed
Yeah, but
him.
there's no heat vision. Like heat vision is like when he really blasts somebody, right?
Yeah, Pop is gone for a little bit. I could somewhat do a little skip ahead, but they do show his heat vision also being heat vision in this scene. It just shows it as basically a kinetic energy type of force to push his uncle back against his garage door.
Well, I mean, to me at that point, I would have run back inside and checked on my wife and been like, "Hey, this sounds like crazy, but I would have explained the situation."
That's what I wondered. Did I miss something when I was watching this? Was the wife dead at this point, or was she? Because I don't remember her being murdered by the kid.
I don't think she does die.
She was lucky then, because she's one of the few that didn't.
Yeah, and we will see soon enough that his wife does
She's
get
alive.
spared.
She's alive at the hospital scene coming up, isn't she? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's try to keep it kind of vague. Don't spell too much, please.
Now, that hospital in another galaxy far, far away that doesn't exist. How's that?
Well, vague hints is fine, but full-on spoilers, Pop probably does not care for that.
I know. I oh well. Too late now, I guess. Sorry.
It's fine. I mean, we all seen the movie on the panel, so we know what you're talking about, but Pop doesn't want the audience to be spoiled, in other words.
Oh, true. Still,
anyways, carrying on.
We're over 2 hours into it, so I'm sure anybody who's still here probably wants to see the rest of it. So,
all right, we got one chat here. Not sure if there are many baseball hits here, but Willie Mays passed away, 93 years old. I honestly didn't know he was still with us.
Wow, I didn't know that either. Wow, good for Willie. Yeah, I was a big baseball fan for the Mariners back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because they almost had a chance to go for the World Series title that year. Back in 2001, I guess it was. Man, they had a great team. I was a huge baseball fan at one time, but since they've kind of sucked for the last 20 years, I haven't watched them. Okay.
So you're a fair weather watcher.
No, I was a big hardcore fan for like 4 or 5 years. I watched every game I could. But, let's face it, when, they start to lose their really good players to other teams, or the good players retire, and then they start to get not so good players, and they start to lose and lose and lose and lose. And their season is like, 60% losses. After about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of that, you kind of start to lose interest least I did grill it,
So that was all the chats there. All right. Where were we at? Because I had to step away for a second.
Yeah, Pop is still away. It looks like he's paused. He's muted. So is Dan. Dan's muted as well. It looks like.
All right. And
By the way, since there's people away, I'll quickly mention I got to meet a legendary British Columbia sports hero on Saturday and actually shake his hand, and I couldn't believe it. I was never expecting that to happen. He's in the
is that a
BC
real
Hall of Fame.
sports or is it like lacrosse?
No, football. One of our great football kickers in the history of British Columbia. I'm sure he's in the BC Hall of Fame, and I don't know how many games he won at the last minute by kicking a field goal and getting those extra points. Louis Pasaglia, great player. And he was, when we were at the Saturday football game, he was a row right ahead of us, like 6 feet away. And my friend said, "Is that Louis Pasaglia?" And I'm just like, "No." And then it turned out he was, and he shook both our hands, and it was so awesome. It was just like, wow, I got to shake a legend's hand, Anyway, sorry. I know. I'm off of my tangent horse again. There I go, galloping away.
Yeah, we're all caught up on chats.
We're all good there, Pop.
Here we go. So he's recovering from being thrown into the garage door. And of course, my video player's messed up here. Hold on, guys. Bear with me.
No, that's all good, Pop. No worries, buddy.
Fuck up!
They are really protective of their food dish.
Yeah, no kidding. But it is what it is.
Shut the fuck
The
up.
joy of pets.
Tired of it. All right. All right, get there and eat. Sorry, guys, feed my dogs.
Yeah, dude, no worries.
So, of course, he has no idea where his nephew is. He's nowhere in sight, that is.
I did kind of wonder, though, how did you think he was actually going to escape, or this was going to help him after he got, thrown against the garage door? Like, wouldn't you have gone back in the house and phoned the cops or something? Or
he's not completely. I think he. Okay, I've been tuning in and out because I've been doing my dogs. I've been feeding my dogs. But what happened with his wife?
She's still alive. She's still okay, Bob.
So I thought, so she's at home in bed, is that right?
In bed, I believe, yeah.
So maybe that's why he was driving the kid away from the house. He didn't want the kid, maybe that's why he didn't go back in the house. He didn't want the kid to hurt the wife.
Well, it was one of those, he was taking the kid back to his parents because
originally, yeah.
The closet there, and
right.
The kid just disappeared. So it's like, I think he went looking for him.
No, he ran away in sheer panic and terror. Dude had a panic attack and he drove.
Panic and terror. And I'm thinking, also, if you want to protect your wife, you want to get him away from her.
Yeah, and I would say, as a minor detail, it's mentioned that he's either buzzed or drunk during this whole ordeal.
Well, didn't he just come back from the pool hall?
Yeah, but the kid's dad says in a later scene he only had like 2 or 3 drinks, so It's not like he's hammered or anything,
Okay.
right?
Right.
You know,
Well,
he's probably still legal to drive, so it's not like a big deal.
here's the thing on the 2 to 3 drinks. How often does he drink? Because that's a major component.
I'm guessing looking at him. I'm
He's
guessing
not
looking
drunk.
at him. I'm guessing he drinks every week with his pool hall buddies.
He doesn't look drunk at all, though, right now.
No, I don't think he's drunk.
If he was, he's sober, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I just wanted to mention because he went in the bar scene, and they did say and later on a little bit, they did say that he was drinking, and the intoxication test came up that he probably was either drunk or buzzed during this ordeal.
I don't remember
Well,
a test. There's a test. I must have missed that.
Well, that's coming up here. And
Yeah, they say it in the
let's not
dialogue.
get ahead of ourselves.
Oops.
The thing is,
Yeah,
though,
talking about spoilers. Anyways,
yeah, the thing is about the kid here floating in the air. Like, why didn't the kid just let him drive him back to his parents? And because then he wouldn't have to kill. Oh, sorry.
But then you're questioning why it's written the way it is. We could go on with it for weeks talking about that.
Okay.
About what we could do or what I would have done or any of that.
Well, PvP, there's a simple answer. He does not want unnecessary attention and trouble with his family because he knows his family is already questioning his intentions. So he doesn't want more problems with them. That's why.
So killing the uncle will eliminate more problems.
I think he doesn't want them to know about it yet.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll go. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry.
Well, I'm just trying to clarify for you, PvP.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. I get what you're saying there, Dan. Yeah.
I mean, like, would you really, if you were a kid, would you really want the uncle to come by that caught you to cause you more headaches if you were a kid because you know that you're not supposed to be over there and uncle drives you there and all that?
Well, yeah, but I'm not an alien psychopathic kid, so I really can't quite relate to that. But anyway, it is what it is. It's still good. Wow, that's a good scene, eh? Ooh.
I love that scene.
Oh,
that's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Oh, that was horrible. Like in a good way.
And not only that, though, what I like about it is like, yeah, that was like a split second on camera, but don't worry, it's not the last of it. We get to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very brutal way to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go that way.
Broken jaw, just totally snapped.
Yeah,
and the worst part is it takes them like a minute or two to pass on. Right?
I do have a real question. Well, if the kid does stick his hand in the vehicle, did he cut off the blood vein, or did he just get blood from his uncle?
He just got blood from his uncle.
He wanted the blood as a trophy, I'm guessing.
No, he wrote it. He wrote his symbol with it.
But I mean, it's like that's his little signature, right? He wanted the blood to write his little signature, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And it's what I like about this scene too is the uncle is conscious the whole time watching all this, like, what the hell?
That's
so
horrible.
He wasn't knocked out immediately.
But this scene like really hammers home how sadistic and psychopathic the kid has become at this point. Like he's an alien, so he never actually had any humanity. But even if he had learned human ways, he's put all that behind him at this point.
Well, and he's gotten so far mentally. Remember, first he was playing with animals, with dead bodies. So now it's like he's playing with the body of a human. So it's like one more advancement where he thinks he's above us. Kind of like a serial killer, like we talked about earlier.
It's like we're no more than dead chickens at this point, right, Pop?
Right.
Basically.
I love that shot right there.
Great practical effect. I love that too, Pop.
Absolutely, all practical.
Yeah. Yeah, that was horrifying.
I thought that looked just real. It looked digital to me.
Oh no, well, either way, it doesn't matter.
Really?
The point is that they showed it, which makes me happy.
Okay.
They weren't afraid to show it. That's what I really like. Is when it comes to the gore, they don't hold back in this movie, and I like that. I don't want to see rated G. I like the fact this is rated R for this reason.
Yeah, that was
You want
really good.
down
I don't
normal,
know. I thought it was practical. I don't know why, but maybe it was digital. Gosh, I don't know.
you can do digital these days to look that good.
It looked really great. Yeah.
I'm just glad that because I'm a fan of gore. I'm glad the movie has gore in it.
Yeah, and here I sort of in that scene and the way the kid looks at it, it's like, interesting. Human blood, interesting.
Oh, I think he's seen human blood before.
I just
All
think
right.
this is like a victory for him kind of thing, and he's like enjoying it.
Yeah, he doesn't show it much.
No.
Well, I don't think his alien species has like maybe humor because he doesn't seem to have much.
So
Uh,
she's on the phone trying to find out where the kid is. So all this is happening over one night. So they haven't had a chance to really catch up with everything that's been going on and what he's been doing. Hush. And he finally comes home, notices no shirt, but he still has a backpack.
Yeah, and the backpack has his covered costume.
Mm-hmm.
And the shirt does come back into it later.
And of course, he's coming up with some lame excuse that even they don't believe. Yeah, you can definitely tell who wears the pants in this family.
The mother.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm guessing the blonde lady. I feel sorry for Dad at this point, actually, because he's like, come on, something bad's going on. And she's like, oh, no. It's my little baby
Exactly.
boy.
A lot of the things that are going on, it's because he's listening to her, not trying to form his own opinion.
Yeah.
Well, plus I kind of do see it like he knows there's something wrong with this kid, but he can't do anything because his wife is holding him back.
That's right.
Well, the sad thing too is all through the earlier part of the movie, they're presented as this like great couple, very close, very loving. They've been trying for years and years to have a baby, so obviously they're close. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But and then this one little moment, okay, it's been growing a bit through the storyline, but this is like the breaking point where all of a sudden the kid is like caused this divide between the parents.
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of what children kind of do too. They divide and conquer against the parents too.
Yeah, well, that's the oldest strategy in the world, it seems.
Well,
not just for kids.
PvP, if it still works, then why fix it?
But does it ever work, really? Because it usually ends up in bad things. Anyway, this is weird. This is going back to when they found the kid, right?
Yeah,
He's just having a nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare slash flashback to where us, the audience, now we're getting caught up on how it went that night.
So this is like a flashback with altered nightmare stuff. Yeah.
Yes. It's a flashback and nightmare mixed in.
Wow, look at all the blood. Yeah.
No shortage of blood there. Exactly. I like that.
Mm.
And of course, the train coming by. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, I love the train. Train's no worries there, Pop.
I guess I could set my watch by it.
I bet you can.
Is it freight or passenger, Pop?
I think it's a passenger train. I don't think there's any freight trains that come through here.
Maybe it's bringing those annoying tourists into town, Red Pop.
That's the problem. Yes, it has these stupid, because we're an hour and a half out of the Grand Canyon. So it's those, Grand Canyon tours. and they've got it mocked. They've got it mocked and made up to look like a Western train, where you could pay and you could ride the train and you can get robbed. What do you call it? Train robbers, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, train robbers. Yep, got it. Yeah. Anyway, here's the ant. The ant's still alive, obviously.
Yes, she is. Ooh, that ugly hair. My God, I hate that hair. If I was my wife, I would say, I'm not talking to you again until you do something about that hair. I don't care if you shave it off, but get it out of here.
So you're saying you prefer bald women over these girls?
Anything, anything, anything. I really, really hate that look.
Hmm.
I mean, it makes him look like a whore, like a tramp.
Hmm. Oh, you talk about tramps. You should have seen one girl walking through the airport this weekend. Oh my! I won't go into details, but it's like, wow. I'll just say that much. It's amazing how some people dress. It really is.
Yeah, and I think in this scene they finally confront their son on what's going on.
And
Or
like,
you mean they confront him that, right? You mean they confront him that there's like they are trying to convince him, hey, we know what's going on. He knows they don't really know the whole picture.
Well, at first they say your uncle's dead, and then it's like, well, you do expect me to cry, which he doesn't obviously care.
I don't think he's dead.
Well, he was being a little lippy with that, like a sarcastic.
Yeah. No, but the uncle with his jaw ripped off died in the truck, right?
No.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought nothing. I was thinking of something else. I think I might have had it confused with another movie. But anyway, so now we're going to try to convince the kid to go camping. Let's go on a camping trip, and we'll be a nice, normal Brady Bunch family.
Yeah, and this is sort of a hint on the father finally has somewhat about control now. He decides to act.
Well, this is where the father gets really angry and confronts him, and not a good idea, of course.
Right. Well, it's typical. The mother, since she wears the pants in the family, she turns the father on and off like a switch. Okay, now you can be a dad. Now you can't. Now you can. Now you can't. Now, there's not a healthy relationship, but that's how they portray all the women and all the relationships now in Hollywood.
They didn't really bother me so much. They didn't make him look. They didn't look. They didn't make him look like a terrible person or nothing. Or
no, not a terrible person, but it's like, okay, she takes away his balls and gives him back when she figures he needs them. Takes away his balls, gives him back whatever. That's my point. That's how Hollywood is now. All movies. That's why they're bombing left and right. Furiosa, Planet of the Apes, all of them. That's why they're bombing now.
I fear that's what will happen with Alien Romulus. But that being said,
oh yeah, definitely with Alien.
Yeah, I feel the dad. He's just so frustrated. It's just like, and he's searching. He's like, and this is why I said I don't know if the kid has super hearing or if he's just like, because like if he does, there's no way that he can't hear the dad rifling through all of his stuff.
Yes. See, that's just it. We don't know the limit of his powers, and neither do the parents. Because you're right. He heard the whole thing.
Right, and even if I was a child, just the way that just the way that the dad looked when he caught him, I'd be like, okay, something's up. I would have checked around.
God, that look is so ugly with the hair. Ugh. whoever the actress is, hideous. If they're trying to get her, if they're trying to have her come across as ugly bitch, they it worked. They succeeded. Birth control, right there. That's instant birth control.
And here we have the overprotective mother to the bitter end.
Of course, the father's not allowed to have the discussion. I'm the father, and I'm going to be the father. I'm going to put my foot down. You have told me all throughout our relationship of how to do this, how to do that. Now it's my turn. You need to shut up and move aside. Get the fuck out. Talk about a toxic relationship. That's what happened basically, is they were living in this false world of this fake happiness, and this boy pretty much exposed it all. The father was never really happy. And he's looking at all the evidence, right?
Go and ahead. Here the sheriff puts 2 and 2 together.
Well, you just see something in the photo, and you remember something from a previous case. You see that a lot there, where that's how a lot of old case files get solved. There is like one little detail stick out, and then all of a sudden that leads down a rabbit hole.
Yes, which is why they keep those pictures hanging around for a long time. It could be years later something finally clicks. Ugh, the way I could get that close to her.
Yeah, okay. This is interesting when he decides to take the kid away for the weekend.
Yeah, let's forget everything that's been happening, and let's just go camping.
Yeah, and I see this. I sort of see this now as the father finally showing some control, and he knows, well, deep down that his son is a threat, and that he's doing this trip for a reason.
That's exactly. He needs to grow up here eventually.
There's a reason, but I'm going to wait till we get there because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, and here it comes.
But honestly, oh, this is good too with the sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where the sheriff shows up.
Yeah, she just pretty much just tells him to get off her property.
No, but the thing is, the sheriff shows something at the crime scene, right? And that triggers her memory.
And triggers her doubt, I think it does.
Well, she knows what's up.
It triggers her memory because we'll see if she goes up to the bedroom there.
And I would say, as I was watching this scene, I was like, "Don't do it, Dad. You know what he's capable of. Don't do it."
I don't think Dad should have realized he's not going to finish him off with a rifle.
Yeah, I don't think he would have known though, because like, aside from super strength, he doesn't know that. We know that the kid can punch a lawnmower and he's fine. The dad doesn't know that.
Yeah, but look what happened to the uncle with his truck.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is, this is all happening so fast, they're not able to comprehend everything. And the dad is like thinking, oh, I don't know if I could do this. And the kid's probably thinking, well, I dare him. There's no way he's going to do that.
I don't think he's even aware of it until he feels the bullet in his head.
Wait, did hit him in the back of the head there?
Spoilers. Oh well.
Sorry,
he just shot there.
I figured this was coming up in a second here, but
damn it, man, we keep spoiling the movie for Pop.
No, he's not. Calm down.
I do like the artist that did the kid's book here, though, with all the horror, like the victims and the people being like masses of people being murdered, and it's like take the world. I mean, I thought that book was so scary. Whoever had the artwork here, like they did it like a kid too, right? Which is really cool. No, there's the uncle with his detached jaw. It's like, oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
and here
creepy.
finally the mother puts it together. Finally
Yeah,
here.
this is the moment she realizes, oh, my baby is a monster. That's a scene that really freaks me out. It's like he wants to exterminate the human race, kind of thing.
At this point, yeah. To him, they've all been bullies, but everything he knows is a lie. His parents would lie to him. Everyone around him in school are bullies. The teachers, the counselors lie to him. So the problem is he sees the bad side of everybody. And he's like, why am I bothering with this? Why am I letting them tell me what to do?
That's the sad thing. He doesn't see the love that his two parents have showered on him, raising him for like, what, 12, 13 years, whatever it is. And they've loved him and treated him as their own. And he just doesn't seem to get that. But now it's like, after this scene, he's betrayed, right?
Oh yeah, and the dad's like, "Oh, I fucked up. I think it's no going back now."
Yeah, at that moment he knew he fucked up.
Yeah,
Like, and
Yeah.
really, what can you do? Be like, oh, I knew it. I knew you could withstand bullets. What else can you do? This was all a test. Please trust me
Yeah,
and don't
I'm
kill
on
me.
your side. Yeah, yeah, I'm on your side, son. I might want to be like a mentor to you, like a trainer. Yeah, I want to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right? I wanted to see if it was like if you were putting up defenses or if it's a natural instinctive thing. Like, oh, I see this isn't working. Oh dear.
I was
yeah, it's
just
just like,
joking. Why aren't you laughing?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just,
right.
I was just testing your defenses, son. Like, don't, no worries. I wanted to make sure you're okay, right? I had good
Right.
intentions. Honest, I did.
I, I was aiming for your leg. I swear. I
I
don't know how I
swear.
beamed you dead center in the back of the head. I don't know.
Oh,
The sight must be off.
or the old trope. Oops, how'd that happen? My finger slipped. I was just cleaning the target.
At this stage, I was like, Dad, run.
Well, he
Run
does. He
where?
does.
How?
He does actually.
Well, and there, it's like the uncle, right? It's like he's trying to start the vehicle because yeah, he could have just like jumped out and ran, but like, where are you gonna run? You're in the middle of nowhere with this fucking kid who can float and take bullets to the back of the head.
Well, remember he appeared in his, crush's bedroom like out of magical thin air. So this kid not only float, he can teleport apparently. So you got no chance against this kid.
Yeah, but then tell me, what do you do? Do you fight or flight? So what does he do?
You're screwed
All
either
you
way.
can
You
do
you
is
can't
run.
defeat him. You can't defeat him. He's a superior alien being at this point.
Right. The same as the uncle realized, I just need to get the hell out of here. I can't fight this.
And then that's my point.
There's no escape. Basically, you're basically done. Once you're on his radar as a target, you are done.
Yeah, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And
This
here we
scene
see.
real. This scene really. This scene really upset me though. It's like he's given this kid so much nurturing, and I just felt
It's
really
like
sad about
when it
this.
comes down to blame, I thought about that while watching this movie too. When it comes down to blame, I can see blaming the mom, but I do genuinely feel sorry for the dad. Because like the
Yeah,
dad,
Yeah.
I feel like the dad's just been following mom's orders all this time.
I mean, I would tell you, I would see this. In the beginning of the movie, they were a good couple, but then just that evil alien influence that influenced the kid just brought out the worst of them, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is he exposed basically how ugly of a person she is. The father was
I
just
don't
living life like a lemming, being told what to do every day, following his wife's orders.
see. I'm getting a different reading on that, guys. It's like, oh god, I hate this scene. This is very disturbing.
That has to be very painful. And notice how another thing, guys, is
Oh man.
he's intentionally doing it slowly. he could burn through that guy in a split second, but no, he's intentionally torturing him by doing it slowly. Because remember, he burned through that freezer door at the diner.
Like
So
2 seconds, right?
yeah, he wants to make sure Dad suffers.
It's like so much for all those years of being a loving father. Yeah, I thought this scene. Wow, I don't want to swear. I don't like to curse too much, but this scene kind of fucked me up.
So
I
what
liked
exactly?
it.
So what exactly were you trying to say? PvP for a second.
What's that?
You were trying to say something a few seconds ago. Did you say it already?
No, I was just I get Pop's take on it that the alien son is bringing out their worst qualities, but I just saw it as, you know, the dad being just a really open hearted, you know, fun loving, you know, guy loving life and just wanted to, you know, do the best for the son, even if, you know, they got him out of an alien spacecraft. He was still like Paul Kent in that sense, right? He was trying to be almost like Paul Kent. And the wife, well, you know, I think the wife, I don't see her as turning bad or anything. I just see her as being, you know, the mother. Like mothers will defend their son to the end. You know, it doesn't matter how bad they are, if they turn out to be evil. I'm sure there's mothers out there of serial killers that say, oh, my boy is a good boy. He could never do that. Like they put the blinders on, I guess
Of
is what I'm
course.
saying, right? You know.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not only that, she's a victim too, though, right? Like,
Oh,
he might be a monster, but she is just as much a victim as anybody else around here. And I'm not even talking about physically or whatever. I'm talking like all this stuff that she has to deal with the town, with like all this background stuff that they don't talk about, but how the town would react, how people would talk, how she feels. Like, there's a lot going on that she's also dealing with too. Not that I want to.
we're going to get even more of that nemesis in a minute here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, oh man, this is very the last part of this film was very hard for me to watch. I gotta
So
be honest.
she's still looking for the son, and she doesn't know where he's at.
But then he comes on the phone.
Yes, now he's communicating over the phone, which is another power that we didn't know he had up until now.
Seems like his powers are growing exponentially to me, Pop.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you mean?
The more you
He has the dad's phone. He's literally talking to her from the. She called the father, and he has the phone.
Yeah, because he's right there at the campsite.
But yeah, but I'm kind of foreshadowing. Sorry, but you know we'll get there.
Yeah, well, I would say this. He could fly. Throughout the movie, you do
That's the
see him
phone
somewhat
in
floating.
his hand, with him up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he can fly, but he can fly for longer periods of time.
Right, and that's where he crushes the phone in his hand, and he's up in the air looking down at the house.
Just like a conqueror does a nation.
And now she knows that she's trapped. What are you going to do now, bitch, huh?
And now she knows that she might be on the list.
Finally.
And PvP may hate me tell us, but she decides to fly away right away, and that's honestly, when you're facing a superior being, the only way you can do it is if you don't have the right tools, the only thing you can do is run.
What are you talking? She can't run. She's tried so hard. She's literally pinned down.
She's
hiding.
She's hiding. She's hiding. She ain't running nowhere at this point. Because she knows it's futile to run, because everybody else that she knows, her uncle, her hubby, they've all tried to run and they've all ended up dead. So she's like, well, that ain't going to go well for me.
And here's the sheriff decides to turn around and come back. I like this, the fact that the kid is just flying in and out of the house, filling it full of holes.
Almost like Swiss cheese, huh?
pretty much.
Yeah, I just was really disliking the kid. Well, long ago, but by this point, I was really hating on him because he is really a little psychopathic creep.
Well, I do believe that was the point.
He didn't start out that way.
I know that's the point, but he was such a sweet kid in the first 35 minutes or so of the film. Like, I really liked him. I thought, well, this kid's an alien, but he has well, I guess I was going to like thinking of him as like Superman, being a good alien instead of an evil alien.
And the deputy's all screwed. She doesn't even know what's going on.
I feel bad for them. I really did at this point. That's because I knew, oh, you guys don't want to go there.
Yeah, and then
look at that. It's like all just smithereens.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
I love it.
No, it'd be pretty fast if you think about it. Be pretty quick.
Well, yeah, at least there wasn't any pain, right?
So did like something hit him, or did he just explode?
That was
the kid hit him.
Yeah, the kid hit him. He flew right into him.
I feel more sorry for the deputy lady here. Whatever she is, like, she really has to suffer.
She's way right. She's way in below her head. She doesn't know what's going on.
And the kid being sadistic. Hey, is the kid a sexist? Like, he killed the sheriff quick, but the deputy, because she's a lady,
he's killing everybody.
Torturing her.
He tortured the uncle.
Well, here's the thing I got from this scene was, I think if you keep moving, he has a hard time aiming and hitting you there because he's going so fast. Versus if you're standing still, then he has a target to lock onto, and she kept moving.
He's not forced to keep going at a high speed. He's stopping and starting all through it.
Well, yeah. I would say it's probably he probably sees somewhat of his mother and all the ladies around him because he grew up with an overprotective mother. He probably sees the females as, well, kind of the backbone or superior somewhat to his father, sort of. So he's attached to more towards women. He's reluctant to kill them, probably.
I don't think that's the case, but...
Well, I'm guessing anyway.
Yeah, well, look what happens. Just wait a couple scenes from now, and we'll see how that theory plays out.
I mean, how should I put this? He's willing to kill all of them, but he takes the time with them. He snaps the males right away, but then he takes his time with the females.
That's why I think he probably hates the women more, because he's torturing and scaring them before he kills them. The males, he puts them out of their misery more quickly.
He tortured the dad. I don't know, but oh well.
Yeah, the sheriff's the only one he's killed fast, but like everyone else, the little girl, he broke her hand. Like the dad, he burned her. The waitress chick, so far as we know, he like. Well,
he really scared the heck out of the waitress. Because he took like, what, 3-4 minutes to kill her? Like, that was scary.
That was like a hunter hunting down their prey. Like a cat and mouse.
Yeah, like a nasty cat. Yeah, I felt sorry for the lady deputy here. Oh, man. She's going backup. We need backup. It's like, oh, well, hey,
that's what you get for living in those small towns out in the middle of nowhere.
That's why I don't live in a small town.
Well, you just stepped in a boundary that Gorilla's familiar with. So don't push them too far.
Well, it's not like a city makes any difference. You can live in Oakland, California. You can call from 911, and they won't be there for an hour and a half or more, if at all. So
that's
sometimes
not my experience. I actually fell in the hallway.
That's why I said Oakland.
My neighbors called, and the ambulance was here taking me for to get a scan if I broke anything within like 20 minutes. So it depends where you are.
Tell me, JP, do you guys use the same number as we do, or do you guys use a different number? We use 911.
911. There's another great. This has got to be a practical effect there, right? When the deputy lady bites it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all practical. Or no, it's all digital. There's no practical effects there.
Damn, it looks so practical, Nemesis. Wow, I'm impressed.
And it's hard to tell because it looks good, which I give him props for. But I know James Gunn was a big proponent of practical effects, so it's kind of hard to tell. I wish they had, which they might have, a DVD with the making of, where it has commentary by the director and the stars and all that, where they talk about how they did all that. That's the kind of stuff I like to do.
Actually, I'm wondering, does anybody have any background about the effects on this film? Like, I didn't bother to look it up because I just finished
Well, that's what I'm
watching
saying.
it.
If you buy the DVD, it'll have it, but I don't have the DVD. I had nowhere to store it. I don't even have a DVD player at this point.
Yeah, because I didn't get to watch it till after work today, so that's why I was late, guys. Like, I was watching it when I finished work at like 5 o'clock or whatever, and I didn't have time to do any research at all, pretty much.
And here's where she realizes that the only way to hurt him is using the metal of the ship, something that came from the ship.
Yeah, because there was a scene earlier where he cuts his hand, and she cuts her hand, and it reminds her of that.
Yep. Kind of like kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came from his home world, so of course it could hurt him, right?
Yep.
And so yeah, this is just once again playing cat and mouse again. It's a interesting scene.
Isn't it a late lady to try to be convincing him of this?
Well, yeah, right. And it's just like after. I feel like this would be the worst time to try and stab your son, but like I would personally wait till he's asleep or something.
And also,
he's so powerful.
This is why I'm glad that they went the route when they wrote the character of him being an introvert, because I wouldn't want him right now standing there yelling at her. Well, I hate you because you did this to me, you did that to me, you lied to me, you did this. It's like, no, we don't need that. Him being silent and just staring at her is perfect. It's everything we need to know.
That's what makes it even more horrific for me, is because he does seem like such a shy, introverted kid, but he's just basically a murderous psychopath by this point. He's got that dual personality that it's like you flip a light switch, guys, on and off, right? That's what his personality is by this point. And
yeah, but I mean, he's a teenager, right? He's coming into his own. He's getting bursts of every time that he hasn't killed like just without thinking about it. Like he thinks about what happens. He contemplates the situation. Like when the dad shot him in the head, he looked hurt and betrayed. But he didn't just like instantly run over and snap his neck. He sat and took some time. He took some time with the waitress. He took some time with the deputy. Like the only one he didn't take some time with was the sheriff.
But he took time to torture them, I think, Nemesis, to scare them, to frighten them, to make them in fear. Because the dad was begging for his life, basically, before he torched him, right?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, what was that? You just shot your son in the back of the head. Oh, please don't hurt me. Bro, you fucking made your bed. Fucking live with it. Like,
but the kid might have realized that, well, I mean, the kid's a threat to the world at that point. So he might have thought that maybe his father had a reason to do that, even if it was nasty. But it's like, sorry, kid, I love you, but you're a menace to the world. I have to end you, is what I was thinking in that scene, right? Like, I don't think his dad loved. Why do you think it took him so long to pull the trigger? It took him, what, 20, 30 seconds to pull the trigger
Yeah,
before he
of
shot him
course.
in the head? So he was struggling. He loves his kid, but he's also loves his planet Earth, and he's finally figured out that this kid could destroy the entire world. That's one reason I like this film so much. It's not like cut and dried, cut and paste, black and white. It's like it's got a lot of great. Well, this scene with the mom at the end. I'll shut up and let's finish it. Finish the film.
And she's all screwed up from going through the roof. At this point right here, I don't know if she can breathe.
It'd be difficult for her at the very least. The oxygen would be incredibly thin.
Well, they're at the cruising speed for jets, so they're at least 30,000 feet up in the air.
Which means they probably cannot breathe.
I'm guessing she was knocked out when her head went through the roof.
Oh no, she's still very much conscious.
Yeah,
Really?
she was looking straight at when they show them flying up out of the
Look,
garage.
she's like literally, she's got his hand on his cheek. Like,
Well,
sorry, Pop, go ahead.
Then how was she breathing it if she shot 30,000 feet though? Like, I'm confused.
Well, because, okay, first of all, they went to the roof. When they crashed through the roof, it showed them flying up. The camera looked down at them, and you could see that she was looking straight up just like him. They were both looking straight up as they flew up into the sky. And then when they got up here above the clouds, they kind of slowed to a stop, and she's looking at him, but she can't breathe, I don't think, because of the atmosphere. She's not dead, but she can't breathe either. And that's why I don't think she's able to talk. So she's basically trying to plead to her with her eyes and with her hands. In my opinion, that is.
I'm almost guessing, since he does seem to love to see people suffer, sadly, but that's one thing I've noticed. He does seem to like to draw this kind of thing out. Is he possibly giving her some kind of ability with some oxygen to breathe, to not suffocate for this last minute?
I think
No.
he did it on purpose. I think he did it on purpose. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, I would say it's PvP. I'm guessing on how high they are up there. They could be at 10,000 feet, but I'm sort of just guessing. Cruising altitude for jets are usually about 30,000 feet.
Well, I went on 2 planes over the holiday weekend. Friday was 20,000 on a small prop plane with the propellers, and we had the jet on Sunday. That was 30,000 feet. So 20 to 30,000 seems to be kind of the cruising altitude for a lot of planes.
Yeah, but people can still breathe up there, even if the oxygen is that thin.
Well, they do have the mask will come down if anything happens, which I don't.
Well,
No, I'm
it's
thinking
not-
of a low left. There's a flight over Hawaii where they were at cruising altitude, and it basically the entire cabin and a huge chunk of it blew apart, and the passengers were exposed
Yeah.
out.
Was that
Yeah.
the
The
one?
air.
That was the one where the stewardess got sucked out.
Yes, that is the one.
That's
Right,
horrible. I remember
the
that.
top
Yeah.
of the airplane, the top of the airplane blew off. And let's not all forget about Lawn Chair Larry. You guys know about him, right?
No.
Lawn Chair Larry, I remember that, but I need a refresh on my memory, Pop. I remember him. He took out, what was it, weather balloons with a lawn chair?
A bunch of weather balloons. He bought it on his own. It was him and a buddy. They were sitting there. They were having beers, and he thought, well, how cool this would be, because he was like a truck driver and he'd never done anything in his life that was exciting. And him and his friend were like, well, I'm going to buy a bunch of weather balloons, and I'm going to buy a bunch of oxygen tanks to blow them up, timed 2 6-packs of beer and some sandwiches. And he did that. He blew up the balloons and he let it loose. And next thing you know, he was up over, he almost hit a couple of live wires, telephone lines. And then he even got up so high where a jet, a passenger plane passed him up in the air. And the passenger plane called in on the radio and said, "I'm not sure, but I think I just passed a man in a lawn chair." And he finally got over to where he was over restricted airspace above an airport. And then that's when they started surrounding him with airplanes. And they finally used his little BB gun. He took a BB gun with him. And he started shooting the balloons to let him slip down. And he actually made it. He's in the Darwin Awards. And after that happened, he quit his job as a truck driver. And he was doing tours, giving lectures, telling people what happened.
Wow.
But then years later, he finally ran out of options, went up to the Sequoias, and offed himself.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a fun story up until the last bit there.
It is.
I remember Lawn Chair Larry Pop. I actually, what was that? What, back in the 80s or something? A long time
90s,
ago.
80s, 90s.
Yeah, because I can remember hearing that all the news channels talking about the guy. It's like, okay, this crazy man, got weather balloons, hooked them up to his lawn chair, took a couple cases of beer with his BB gun, and he's flying up with the jets. And it's like, that was cool. It was so
I thought so too. I loved it.
I loved it, yeah.
So,
Gorilla, are you with us?
No, he's been snoring away for a little while.
Oh, anyway, let's get the movie finished because we're
So the whole point of that whole thing was the fact that she can breathe up there even if there is very limited. It's just torturous for her for sure. So she's being tortured up there as he drops her, and then we see the airplane come in, and it pans.
Are you there, Nemesis?
Yeah. And sorry, it just pans to the airplane, and then now we're here at the mailbox.
No, I'm just asking because I muted Gorilla. I want to make sure that I didn't accidentally mute you as well.
Okay, no, I'm still here, dude.
Yeah, I'm still my yucky self here.
Then this means I better check the chat.
Looks like Dan's muted though, so I don't know.
I muted Gorilla because he was snoring.
Well, there is a reason. There is a reason, PvP. If you read the private chat,
Ola Greg says, "Wow, Sean, did I miss something?" Daniel's Hot Topic says, "So how goes the movie?" I think it's going pretty good. Daniel, have you been here since the beginning, or did you come in late, Daniel? Hey, Skogly, stranger, long time no see.
Hey,
Skogly Jotun says, "Hey guys,
Hey, Skogly, thanks for being here, man."
Yeah, this is a great movie, Skogly. If you ever get a chance to watch it. And Lemon Pie, hello Lemon Pie says, "Skogly, yeah." And Skogly says, "Hypoxia in minutes."
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it means by the loss of oxygen.
Yeah, doesn't hypoxia make you go goofy or something? Like you're on drugs? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I think you're thinking of. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, from what I've heard, that's why they used to test the astronauts with it, because your brain would start going to your brain was panicking because it couldn't breathe, and start doing funny things. I can't remember exactly what.
I always heard it was like some form of intoxication, basically, where you get kind of goofy and silly, like you weren't really.
Makes me think of nitrogen narcosis, but I get what you're saying. Anyway, so we're panning here. An airplane has crash landed on the farm, Everyone's dead. 268 passengers. The mom is dead, and the only survivor happens to be the son.
Gee, what a surprise, eh?
And there he is, munching on a cookie in the back.
Poor
And
little victim.
he killed 268 people, and he's eating a cookie.
269, including his mom.
Nobody knows that, though.
This was kind of the scene that broke it for me. I'll give my review later, but I did not like this one. Well, it was more personal because I flew on 2 airplanes on Friday and Sunday, and that was very personal.
So when did you watch this?
I watched it today after work.
Oh, good. Okay.
I was too tired. I was shagged out last night, Pop. So that's why I was late, half an hour, 40 minutes late, because I had to watch the movie. But I was determined because I started watching it, at 5 o'clock right after my work ended. And I thought, hey, this movie's really good. I'm enjoying this. So, I definitely want to be here. So, but it was very personal when he killed all those innocent people on the airline. That really pissed me off because, hey, I was just on a bloody jet, 2 days ago. Come on, kid. Sorry, but
right.
you know how it is.
It happens.
I gotta say, the actor that plays the conspiracy theorist hardly gets any work nowadays, but he does a good job.
Who?
The actor that plays the
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just scrolled through the end credits because I wanted to get on here. So
that guy.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. I have no interest in these guys that scream at the microphone or whatever.
Well, I was talking about the actor that plays the guy.
Yeah, that's the same guy. What's his name? He was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Him and James Gunn are best of friends. And that's why.
Yeah, he played Yondu.
Right. Anything that James Gunn makes, he's going to be in it. I think he was in Slither and all that stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, plus and also the movie Jumper too. If you guys ever seen that movie.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I like him as an actor. I like him. Oh, and he was also, let's not forget, the first episode or 2 of Walking Dead. Oh, I don't remember if it was the first 1 or 2, but he was in a couple episodes of Walking Dead. Elizabeth Banks. That was the ugly bitch with the nasty hair.
Yeah, from what I hear, she's not very nice in real life too.
Well, I could see that, then that wasn't very much of a stretch, and it didn't require much acting ability. And there we go. Oh, as a reminder to everybody, I put a poll in the chat. If you haven't already done so, maybe consider voting. Let us know how you rate this movie, what grade. Either what grade you give the movie or what grade you give our coverage of the movie. It's totally up to you. But we do appreciate you sticking around to watch the stream. If you came in late, please say hello. Maybe consider hitting the like button. If you haven't done yet so far, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And what I usually do now at this point is I go around and let everybody give their opinions of the movie and tell us about their channel. And so let's start with Sith Dan, if that's okay. Dan, what do you say about what's your opinion about the movie and about your channel?
Well, in the poll, I gave it a B+, but I would have to change my grade. I give this a solid A. It's a good dark movie that...
Good.
I mean, I don't mind dark movies. I mean, I do enjoy the villain in this one because it shows him as highly intelligent and very competent. Plus, it kind of shows how over the movie, it shows him he become more and more arrogant and more superior to humans, which is sort of the idea of the movie. Kind of like the evil version of, like, the Lex Luthor with Superman mixed in together, since Lex Luthor has a human superiority complex to him.
Okay.
And as for my channel, I cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. In my channel, I do say on what type of subjects I cover on my channel. I do have universe crossover ideas on my channel as well. I do movie rankings. I usually am on other people's live streams if they allow me to. I do cross streams with them as well if they will allow it. I try to do my live streams on Saturdays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. I may change that depending on Gorilla and Resolute Germ's time slots. And I do try to put out a new video on my YouTube channel every Monday morning to keep the algorithm going and to entertain my audience and my subscribers. Every new subscriber, comment, and like on my videos encourages me to make more content for you guys. And beyond that, I'll turn it over to, I guess, Nemesis of Eden, unless Gorilla is
Gorilla's
finally
out.
awake.
Gorilla's out. Okay, sounds good. Nemesis, what do you say? What say you?
Yeah, this movie was fine. I had a real hard time with the fact that, like, I'm not a big fan of watching, like, good people suffer. Like, there was a bunch of, like, I don't know why we had to focus on the little girl getting her hand broken and whatnot. It would have been much better to have one of the bullies that they kept talking about but not showing get it instead of her. And same with, like, her mom, just the way, like, we didn't talk about the end where it's flashing, where the mom jumps down into the spacecraft to grab the medal, and it's flashing, and there's the stewardess's corpse tied to the thing naked, and her, like, entrails are, like, ripped out, and you're just like, holy fuck.
I wish you would have reminded me. I would have showed that.
Was that the stewardess?
Sorry about
I thought that was his love interest's mother.
Yeah, I think it
That's
was.
the same person.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
It's okay. Yeah, so I mean, like, a solid B plus. There's a lot of tense scenes. It was really well shot. The cinematography was really good. The acting, not so great. The characters, once again, like, not over the top or fantastic or anything, but they served a purpose. But at the same time, like, I don't think I'm going out of my way to watch this movie again anytime soon. I would recommend watching it once. It's not a waste of your time by any means. It's competently shot. Don't let the James Gunn thing dissuade or influence your decision, because, like, it's not shot like a Guardians movie or anything. The only time where I got any feeling of that was the credits, and that was about it. So yeah, I'll say a solid B plus. And when it comes to my channel, lately I'm doing all things PlayStation right now. I've got a few different games on the go: Stellar Blade, Red Dead Redemption 2, Subnautica I've been playing a lot of. So if you're into any type of gaming, definitely come and hang out. I'd love to have you on the chat.
Yeah.
I try and talk to you as much as I can. And yeah, thank you so much to Pop for having me on the channel as always. And thanks to all of our wonderful people in the chat. You beautiful beings out there are fantastic. Thank you for being here and listening to us ramble on for a solid 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I want to thank you too. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, buddy. No worries. Thank you.
I think makes it all worthwhile. You've been here since the beginning, and we're going on 52 streams next week, so that's terrific.
Hell yeah.
Yes, it is, and we've still got. That's another thing too is we'll be coming up here in the next couple of days on what movie we'll be showing next week. I'll announce that. I don't know if it'll be the voting one or not, but we've had this discussion before. So within the next few days, we'll know what movie we're going to be covering next week, so you guys have plenty of time to watch it and catch up. And what about you, PvP? What say you about this movie and your channel?
Well, I actually really thought this was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Um, Gosh, I have so much mixed emotions. I'll try not to ramble on too long, but I really liked, well, of course, the first, half hour when they're the happy family. That's heartwarming, fun stuff. Building the characters and setting the scenario. It's like I get it,
Mhm.
but to me, it was like this was like a total takeoff on Clark Kent, Superman. The Kents in Kansas raising an alien son, and but instead of raising an alien son that goes off and wants to save the world and help humanity and loves everybody, he turns into being an evil little bastard that wants to kill
Yep.
everybody.
Yep.
So it's like, well, nice flip there. I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I gotta say, I liked it. I thought the cast was awesome. I thought, for probably not a major, major movie by any means, I don't think the budget was that big, actually. I thought everybody acting in the cast was really solid. I liked the mom. I liked the dad. I mean, the kid was awesome. I thought the kid was like, he was so good because when he was the nice, innocent, likable kid, he was just like, oh, you want to hug him, right? And then when he's like the evil little bastard that's torching people and killing people, and it's like, wow, he's so scary at that point. So I thought the I don't even know what the kid's name is. Awesome little actor though. Awesome. I hope he did some stuff after this actually because he was really good. You know, at underplaying he could underplay the emotions almost to zero, and then he could overplay them like big time when he was like blasting people or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
that was cool. Um, yeah, I really liked it. I was at the A- level, Pop, but I gotta say, I guess I'm just one of these old suckers. I'm an old sentimental softy, and I kind of always cheer for good to triumph over evil. And sadly, of course, in this movie, it didn't. And what really broke me, well, okay, two things broke me. The mom finally realizing that her her boy, her loved son. I mean, she loved him. She still loved him right up to the last moment when she tried to kill him with that piece of alien metal off the spacecraft. She still loved him, but she knew if there was any hope for planet Earth, she had to end him. And of course, she failed. And then that whole scene where he takes her up and drops her like miles down to the planet. Like, seriously, kid, couldn't you just kill her? Like, don't make her suffer screaming all the way down to the planet. You know, bang into planet Earth. Like that really broke me. And then that last scene when it's like over 200 people he's murdered on the plane, and that really hit me hard because I was just on a bloody plane like that a couple days ago. It's like, wow, this kid's a fucking asshole. You don't kill innocent people on a plane. Come on, it's dangerous enough without that kid. So I got really angry. I had to take it down. I took it out a whole notch to a B minus. I was going to do an A minus, but that last stuff at the end, it just took me down to a B minus. I was just like, I was really kind of pissed off at the way the film ended. Like I think the film's great. I
Okay.
think it's a good one watch, like Nemesis said. I highly recommend a single watch, but yeah, I don't think I'll be rewatching it actually, Pop.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's totally understandable. What about your channel?
My channel, okay, music playlists. Of course, my cousin and I saw The Damned live in Vancouver at the Commodore Ballroom on Friday the 14th. And my cousin was nice enough to send the video clips. He did 9 video clips of the band, very short ones, so it's not like much of a watch. If any of you guys want to check them out, I'm gonna see if I can upload them sometime in the next week or two. But
Cool.
it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's about it, I guess, Bob. I don't want to go on too long.
Well,
PvP. Is it? Did your family members just take pictures of the band, or are you in the video as well for us to finally see you?
Yeah, there's a couple videos where I'm giving a thumbs up or holding up my drink, my drink up. So yeah.
So we may actually see on camera reveal of PvP, huh?
Yep. If you guys will know why the internet broke that day, and you can no longer access it.
Well, thank you for your opinion, PvP. I appreciate it.
I had fun, Pop. Like, I really enjoyed the movie. I just felt at the end it was like, I had to lower the rating, but it was still good.
That's okay. You don't have to apologize. And for me, I give the movie a solid A. I like the fact that it took. I'm a big Superman fan, by the way. He's my favorite superhero. So I'm not upset at the movie because they did that to Superman's character. I liked the movie because it was like that. I love parodies. I like when people alter it, as long as it's done with taste, which, for a horror movie, it was done with taste, in my opinion. And so I really liked it. The casting was spot on. They hired a bitch to play the mother, which she was very fitting. I wish the dad could have done more, but that's just how they write all dads now as pussies. The kid I thought was great casting too, great actor for his age. The subtleness and the introvert, where he's an introvert, I like that. Like I said, I like the guy who played the uncle. The effects, the gore, they didn't hold back on that. They could have had more, they could have had less. But I love the gore and I appreciate it. And I was going to say, Nemesis, the scene you're talking about, where they show the woman in there, whatever. I'm not sure what scene you're talking about because there was times tonight where I was getting distracted with my dogs. But if there's scenes that I skip over, please tell me. Say, hey, wait a minute, can you go back and show this? And I'll do that.
Yeah, I didn't remember until I mentioned it in the review. I was just like, oh yeah, that was a thing. So my apologies.
I not even remember because I was feeding my dogs, and like usual, sometimes they're fighting over the food, so I didn't have my full attention on the stream. So it was whatever scene you're talking about. It wasn't intentional, and especially if it was gory, I'm never not going to intentionally skip over that.
So it seems like we skipped it much for scenes. We got most of it.
Oh, Gorilla's back. What's that, Gorilla?
We didn't skip over much. There, got most of the scenes.
Yeah, but there was something I skipped over, which I understand. So, Gorilla, since you're back, tell us about your opinion of the movie and your channel.
Ugh. It actually wasn't too bad. It actually got my attention there. Like I caught you could tell that this person was a Superman person fan there, and I'm guessing they're a fan of The Exorcist. Like you could tell there's inspiration from both of them there, and maybe a little bit of ideas from the Charlie X there. They're with the kid, but basically you get a kid that suddenly is developing powers at the critical time of development there, when you get the anger that just starts, the kid, like right now the kids are like my kid there, still happy that, but once he hits puberty you're gonna start seeing the more angry part of him, and it's just part of a natural development there. I thought that was pretty good. There wasn't like that. They did the gore tastefully. It's actually pretty good there. And you could tell it started out with someone had to trigger him being mad. Just like with like getting frustrated with the lawnmower not starting. Then the girl, they caused him to humiliate himself, so he crushed her hand. Then he went after the mother who called him a pervert and stuff. But then it gradually got more and more and more and more there. And I'm still trying to figure out how the heck they're supposed to kill that kid there if he could survive a bullet to the back of the head. Though there's a couple details like I would have added to the movie there. Like for example, when you're hearing like being a person from the country there, if you're hearing weird noises outside in that, you're not going outside without a 22, without the shotgun or the 22. Oh, at least through a low see him bring a shotgun and went to bed that too much. I can't remember what the other scene is. I will change it quite a bit, but I'm gonna give it an A minus.
Very cool. And tell us about your channel.
Oh, let's see. Tomorrow night we should have 2 episodes of Justified. 7 o'clock right before we do Gilligan's Island, and then let's see. Thursday it's the Man in the Sea watch party.
The Old Man in the Sea, all right.
Yeah,
That's Thursday?
yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll put that on my calendar.
Then Friday we should finally be back to the Waltons there after a couple weeks with the departure where John abandons his family.
Okay.
Then Friday is episodes 2 and 3 of DS9. And then Sunday, I got to pull up in the chat there for what we're going to be watching there. So make sure to check. So make sure to go and vote. And it's Chicago Rules.
Will do. Remember that, everybody, for listening. That's Gorilla's Random Thoughts. All right, then. Thank you for helping me out tonight, Gorilla, with the chat.
Yeah, not a problem there. Even though at the end there I kind of dozed off, but it just got hot in here for some reason.
Oh, it's okay. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, I think it's because it's the west wind instead of like an east wind. So it's just like no breeze coming into here. All the breeze is going into the bedroom.
That's got it. Well done. Maybe that'll help. I was going to say it's got to be hard to sleep, but if you got a breeze in your room, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I just opened up the windows because the temperature just dropped like crazy there. So it's like, what's the point of running the air conditioner?
See, that's what I like, is being able to open the window and get that nice breeze at night. That's how I sleep the best. But appreciate you helping me. I think we're pretty much caught up on the chat.
Yeah, no
I'm going to go ahead and close the poll in the chat. Everybody, if you haven't voted,
I can't find the poll. I don't know why Papa is going to vote, but
yeah, it's there. I'm looking at it right now.
No, damn, I can't find it.
Well, you gave us your review online, so we were able to see that.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus, so I'll just include that.
Excellent.
So
good movie, but not one I'd watch again, probably.
All right, so
what were you saying, Gorilla?
I was gonna say, while you're doing that, well, welcome, Scogly. Welcome. He goes, yeah, it makes you loopy as fuck. Guess you're talking about the hypoxia. And he goes, great. Other Greg says, great stream tonight. And
thank you.
I just smoked a cigar at midnight. He goes, I just smoked a cigar in the dark street with the tropical rain coming in from the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, I heard there's a potential tropical storm just right down heading towards Mexico. And there's PvP's channel. And thank you for this, Gorilla. It shouts a good night doll. And there's Devis's channel.
Definitely could not done it without Gorilla.
Yeah,
thank you.
And other Greg says, see, good to see you here. All right,
definitely.
So that's all the chats.
So here's the results from the poll. What grade? We got 8 votes. Excellent turnout. Thank you, everybody. What grade would you give Brightburn? And it looks like B plus to B minus gave it a 62%. A plus to A minus 25%. C plus to C minus 12%. And it looks like no votes for D plus to F minus, which is great. That means nobody actually absolutely hated it. So that's always a good thing. Thank you for that, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to vote.
And I just want to do one last thing. Thank you, Lemon, for pointing my channel in the chat. Thank you.
Oh, Lemon's so good at that. Excellent. Yeah. Lemon's
a rock star.
Oh, speaking of, we have a latecomer called Anti-Derivative Jill is in the chat right now.
Oh, Jill. Hello, Anti-Derivative Jill.
Hi, Jill.
I was
Hey.
just getting ready to close it up here soon, Jill. I'm sorry.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
You missed my tirade. Now I'm not gonna tell you where it's at, but you're gonna have to go back and rewind and listen to my tirade somewhere in the thing.
You're gonna have to listen to Pop's absolutely hilarious comment that's somewhere in this stream, and I'm not gonna tell you where, but it's pretty
I
funny.
That's just because
I
you
don't
can't
know if
remember where it's at.
Yeah, I don't know if I want Jill to hear that or not. I don't want that to.
You don't want Jill to hear most of the stuff we were saying in the chat
Hey,
tonight.
hey, Pop! I
Wow.
guarantee you, she's heard worse coming out of me.
Oh, dude, she's best friends with Scotty. I guarantee you she's heard worse.
No, that's the problem. We were talking about what was coming out of all of us, and Jill wouldn't want to
Hey-o.
know about that.
Oh, she definitely wants to hear my comments. Definitely,
I'm sure
she knows my humor.
Jill's a big girl. I'm sure she's heard all about that, haven't you, Jill? That's why Jill's so cool, because she can just roll with it, you know.
Yeah, she's saying hi to everybody, and everybody saying hi to her. Alrighty.
Jill started a new review on Tuesdays now. She's covering For All Mankind. I highly recommend it to everybody. It looks like it might be an interesting show.
It sounds like a show I've never seen that show, but since Jill and everybody in the chat loves it so much, I definitely have to watch that.
We just jumped up 3 viewers since Jill got here. So Jill, you've got a big following, Jill, or we've got a raid from another stream. I don't know.
Or good stalking. Or good stalking. Or it's a good stalking.
Well, odds are probably was crossover, Pop. Probably was crossover from another stream.
Yeah.
That's cool. I appreciate it. I'm not complaining.
All right. Jill says, it's all good. Sorry I missed it. It's totally all right. And she said, Gorilla rants. Hey, I go on a rant every once in a while. I went on a big rant here on DS9 last Saturday, or when we did Emissary there about having families on the starship there. Then Skogla said, For All Mankind is amazing. I haven't watched it yet. And she goes, rumor has it, I'm an adult and it's true. Head He's laughing.
Well, and I don't usually do rants because people seem to. I don't want to upset anybody, I guess you could say.
Oh, everybody loves a good rant every once in a while.
Well, how can you get through life without giving a good rant when everything's pissing you off? We all do it once in a while, don't we? It's like, oh, my bank screwed me, or this something screwed me, or my credit card screwed me, or we all need a good rant, don't we, once in a while, guys? Isn't that?
Well, I guess I figured. Well, you guys are. A lot of you guys probably already having a bad day. You don't want to come here and listen to more miserable stuff.
I always try to keep my bad days private, even though I do share them occasionally.
Yeah. Well, and if the rant's good and all that, they can perk up the day, this person's day too. If it's a good justified rant.
If you get a really good rant though, like against something that like 90% of everybody hates, like that can be a lot of fun, right? You know, guys, like come on, you know.
Oh yeah, like if you're having a bad day, just listen to Bird of Prey 5's UPS rant. That was like the best rant. That was like the rant of all rants right there. Out of nowhere. Dude. But Jill says, I'm intrigued by it, and I love the first 2 episodes. I don't know how far it will hold. I've heard people like it up to season 3 and stuff, so.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that up to a certain point, then it kind of drops off. But I don't want to ruin it for her. She's just now getting into it.
Yeah, people says, are you here? People are here for you, Pop.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And she goes on DS9. I was like, oh yeah, I went on a rant on that DS9 watch party there. PvP, were you there for? Yeah, were you there for that rant?
Which one?
DS9.
Oh, how long ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
I probably was actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to go on the DS9. Yeah, I probably was actually, but
Yeah.
oh
I
man,
don't know if you were there at the beginning and all that, but oh man, I went off. And he goes, "Network is a movie famous for its ranting." Mm.
I'm mad as hell, and I won't take it anymore.
We're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it. All right, I'm done.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I got so many channels on here. I love you guys. I want to participate on your panels and when you invite me. And then with all the extra stuff going on over the last weekend, flying to Vancouver and all that, it's like, wow, I'm just like scattered. I'm like scattered in the wind. Like I'm like Apollo in that episode of Star Trek. I scatter myself against the wind.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm getting silly. Sorry.
And BB says, "Hey Jill, found a good trick review focusing. We'll send." All right. All right.
Excellent.
That's all the chats.
Yep, I think we got through all the chats. We covered the poll. We showed the results on the poll. And we've all promoted our channels. I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything any of you guys would like to add?
Well, just try to stay healthy, Pop, and try to hang in there as long as you can for all of us.
I will do my best, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I mean, I don't have much to add. I'll add stuff over the next towards the end of this week, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Pop. You know.
All right, and and once again, good to see you, Jill. I know it's late. Sorry we didn't have much time to chat, but I love all you guys, and I will see you all soon too. Hopefully tomorrow night for Gilligan's Island. If not, Saturday for Rumblings in the Lab. I'm going to be showing some for Saturday for Rumblings, some vintage photos from behind the scenes of Star Trek as TOS, as well as a few other shows. So I hope to see you all there. And with that, everybody, if you work tomorrow, please drive safe. Don't get any accidents. If you're in a hot area, stay cool. If you're in a cool area, stay hot. And with that, peace.
Good night, everyone.